Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. I hope you're well. Hope you're chilling. This is episode 136. Hope we're good. Today is Monday, August 28th, 2023. It is a fine evening on the East Coast, and we have quite the show planned for you guys tonight. So, let's strap in and have a little conversation. So, lots happened over at Music Mondays over the last week or so. I've been having a lot of really good conversations with the Music Monday staff team. Lots of really good things coming before 2024. So, strap in. Let's talk about what happened over the last week or so, and let's get into episode 136. So, let's start off light. Of course, as you guys know, episode 135 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on all platforms, including our YouTube channel. It's available on all audio platforms, such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like the Music Mondays podcast to be available on any platform that it isn't currently, feel free to let us know, and we'll be happy to throw it on any platform that it's not already on. But, like I said, episode 135 is available everywhere, including YouTube, and huge shout out to our YouTube crew and everybody who shows love to the YouTube edition of the Music Mondays podcast. So, that takes us to Tuesday, where we actually dropped a brand new exclusive on the Music Mondays SoundCloud. We dropped 350 by Childs. Childs actually let us host a brand new single by them. Exclusively on our SoundCloud. So again, if you missed that, definitely go check that out and go show that some love, my friends. And again, huge shout out to Childs. We'll talk a little bit more about Music Mondays exclusives and things like that as the show goes along. So, that takes us to about Thursday, where we'll be discussing our brand new YouTube drop, actually. So a brand new YouTube upload is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. You can go check out plenty of segments over there. We have lots of really great stuff on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, but this Thursday we dropped Communication is Key. Now, that was a segment from last week's episode of Music Mondays, episode 135, so if you missed that, definitely go check that out. Long story short, communication is key is where I really dove into why it's necessary to keep communication with your friends and your fellow artistic and creative peers, right? I think that's very important, and that's something that you should always really strive to do. And really kind of simple but important topic, so definitely go check that out if you missed that. And huge shout out to our YouTube crew as usual. And we actually hit 200 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, so we're gonna put out a thank you post relatively soon. This week, thanking the Music Mondays community for helping us hit 200 men. 200 subscribers is actually kind of nuts. We've been consistently posting on the channel for just about a year, a little over a year. We've uploaded, probably close to, it has to be over 100 videos, has to be. But it took us quite a while to actually get to 200, but now the road to 300 begins. So again, huge shout out to everybody that got us to 200 subs, and huge shout out to everybody who comes to the Music Mondays YouTube channel and shows us some love, man, because we're not even close to being done with the channel. I have a lot of really great ideas and a lot of awesome stuff that's going down over the channel. So if you're not subbed, definitely go sub to the channel and go check out the channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, and a whole lot of good stuff is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. And again, thank you guys for 200 subscribers from myself, Zom Slays, from the Music Mondays staff team. But we have a long road ahead, and I'm very excited for the future. So if you guys are excited, thank you. And get ready for a whole lot of really awesome stuff on the Music Mondays channel, definitely. So, Communication is Key is live right now. A brand new article is live on the Music Mondays website by M. Bischoff, aka MOFC. Huge shout out to M for getting us this short notice article, because their scheduled interview actually had bailed on them which always sucks. I mean, time management is very important, and sometimes things just don't line up, right? Things come up, etc., etc. So huge shout out to M to for them actually getting a short notice article in. Again, huge shout out to them for real. Um, so that takes us to about, I believe, Sunday. Um, we kicked off with oh no, actually on Saturday. I'm sorry. On Saturday, before we get to Sunday, we have a Staff Design Showcase Volume 11 is available right now by Conbini. Conbini has been a Music Money staff designer for quite a while, and they've been killing it with all of their freestyle designs, SoundCloud Sunday covers, so much really, really amazing pieces by Conbini. So that's just a way to really showcase our design team and really show them some love. So Staff Design Showcase Volume 11 is available right now on all of our social media. Definitely go show Conbini and that post some love. And that rolls us into Sunday. So Sunday is very important. SoundCloud Sunday Volume 97 is available on our SoundCloud right now. That was curated by me, Waterfalls, Deep Rest, and Avanco. Now, it's really cool seeing all of us on the curation list now, because for a while it was just me, Waterfalls, and then after that it was me, Waterfalls, and Deep Rest, and then for a while it was just me, Deep Rest. So huge shout out to the curation team. They're amazing. So definitely go check out SoundCloud Sunday Volume 97, and if you're interested in ever getting involved with SoundCloud Sunday, you want to submit to SoundCloud Sunday. Submissions open every Wednesday, so again, keep your eyes peeled for that. Very, very important. So, again, SoundCloud Sunday has really, really leveled up over the last couple of months, and I always want to show appreciation to pretty much everybody that has been submitting, showing support. Whether you just, repost SoundCloud Sunday, you're just really showing it to a friend or anything like that. SoundCloud Sunday is very important. SoundCloud is still, a very important platform when it comes to independent music. And, despite their many flaws, I definitely think the positives kind of still battle back. I wouldn't necessarily say that they outweigh the negatives, but the positives are still there, right? I think musicians have access to a free platform like that actually somewhat supports their independent artists. So SoundCloud is definitely still pretty important when it comes to that. So SoundCloud Sunday is slowly becoming the premier playlist that's not only our community, but new members of the community, other artists actually want to get involved in. People are actually showing the playlist to their friends, their family, whoever else, just people that aren't necessarily musicians or creatives. But sometimes people just need, a bunch of music to really dive into. Some people just love underground music, undiscovered music. So SoundCloud Sunday is really the perfect playlist for that, if we're being completely honest. Very important. And again, huge shout out to you guys, the community, and huge shout out to our Music Mondays staff team for always helping me curate that, always helping the community really shine as well. So again, huge shout out to Water, Depress, Avaco, and myself, of course. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 97 is available right now, my friends. Go check that out with that said. So, that takes us to Monday. Today, August 28th. We're slowly approaching September. This will officially be our last show of August, actually. Which is kind of crazy because I felt like I was just saying this is our first show of August. I said that last week, and it still kind of blows my mind when I put it in perspective. But realistically, I've been super busy. The staff's been super busy, so time has just been flying by, right? I mean, with streams, drops, all the content, so much stuff, man. So much stuff. So again, this is episode 136. Today is August 28th. Let me give you a little rundown on what's coming on Music Mondays for the rest of the week, and we'll hop right into some reactions and reviews after we get a discussion segment completed. So, man, oh man, oh man, what's coming on Music Mondays this week? So before we get into that, you guys know the drill. I got to talk to you guys about exclusives and staff recruiting. So, if you're interested in getting a unreleased track hosted on the Music Monday SoundCloud, we are on the hunt or new tracks to fill our library with. Any genres, of course, can be even an instrumental. Um, Everything is for free. We'll also promote it across all of our social medias for free. We'll even handle your cover art if that's something that you need as well. But again, we only want to host the unreleased SoundCloud version. Feel free to do whatever else you'd like to with your audio afterwards. You can distribute it to all stores. You can go make a music video. It doesn't really matter. We just want to host the SoundCloud version to not only build our library, but to really help to just grow our SoundCloud in general. So definitely hit us up if that's something you're interested in. Feel free to send us an email, a DM. You can DM me as well. Anything like that works, definitely. But outside of that, we're also interested in hosting music videos and visuals. So if you're an artist who has a music video, a lyric video, even a small visual that you'd like the Music Mondays YouTube channel to host, our channel of 200 plus subscribers for free, definitely get in contact with us. Definitely send us a pitch, tell us your ideas, let us know, because we're definitely interested in that. And that, of course, is free of charge as well. We'll definitely promote it across all of our social media and get you the best engagement possible. So, those two things kind of go hand in hand, but still kind of important. So before we get into what's coming this week, let's talk about recruiting. So, many of you know, for those of you that do follow us on social media, Music Mondays recently put out a brand new recruiting flyer. Basically, we like to keep putting these out every so often just because not everybody sees the original post that we do. So we like to keep refreshing these every month or so because some people do miss them. But we are on the hunt for writers, journalists, curators, designers, basically any kind of underground enthusiast. If you're interested in keeping the underground preserved and natural and genuine, you want to see the underground community grow, this is the platform for you, man. I've been in the space for well over 6 years. The majority of the staff has a lot of time spent. People like Waterfalls have been in the space about 8 years. So a lot of us have been entrenched in underground music for quite some time. So again, if any of those roles really interest you, definitely let us know. But again, journalists, writers, curators, designers, content creators, if you want to do short form or long form content for any of our social medias, TikTok, YouTube, things like that, definitely let us know. And of course, Music Mondays is very early in monetization, so everything that we do receive funding wise from Music Mondays goes directly back into the platform, right? Hosting for our website, all sorts of smaller things like that. So realistically, this is a very growing project, and we're right on the cusp of a couple of really interesting pieces of content. So we're looking for more hands to really get involved in, and people that actually see the vision of Music Mondays and you know, see the vision that the rest of the staff kind of sees, right? So again, if those roles interest you, if you have a pitch or a resume, that'd be great, but definitely not required to have a resume. But definitely pitch yourself in our email, in my DM, Music Mondays DM. Is up on any social media that you follow us on, and we'll be glad to have that conversation with you. So, those two things I just always got to get out of the way. Those are pretty much two constant things that are always going on in Music Mondays. So again, I gotta always remind you guys of that. So what's coming up on Music Mondays over the next week as we go into September? Well. First things first, in case you missed a monthly, you guys know the drill. Our biggest and most thought out a written piece as well as a graphical piece in case you missed it monthly. Compiling each month's slept on underrated tracks. The June edition is live right now, but the July and August edition will be live over the course of the next couple of weeks. And again, Aster is back, so you'll see Aster on graphics again per usual. Aster just absolutely destroyed the last batch of graphics, and again last week, like I said, in a way that I definitely couldn't. So huge shout out to Aster. But yeah, expect the July and August editions to roll through relatively soon. Monthly content is making a massive return. We have a couple of content pieces booked for Workshop Wednesday and Feature Friday. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on the Music Mondays YouTube channel for those, and definitely follow us on socials for any announcements, because those two are definites, absolutely locked in. So expect those over the next couple of weeks as well. Behind the merch and the breakdown are two pieces that are a little bit more intricate. So I spoke with the staff last week, and a couple of staff members are willing to take on the challenge. So again, that's something that we're working on in the background as well. I actually spoke with our staff designer 63, and 60 is down to kind of help us do a little bit of a spring cleaning, if you will, for our graphics. I definitely don't think we're going to do a logo change, but we're definitely going to freshen up at least a couple of our graphics, get a little refresh, somewhat something that's decent, right? So that's very, very important. So expect a little announcement here or there of some nice graphical upgrades. So the Patreon is something that I personally have been kind of reworking in the background as well. So that'll be something that you guys see a little bit of a announcement and a new drop for all of our Patreons. So again, huge shout out to all of our Patreons over there. But again, that's something that I've been really reworking and kind of coming up with more ways to really show our Patrons some more appreciation. So definitely go check out our Patreon if that's something that interests you. But a couple brand new things coming for those guys as well. So again, YouTube content, more of our bigger pieces, like In Case You Missed It Monthly. We're also on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives, and we're also recruiting. And again, there'll be kind of smaller things here or there that kind of pop up that you guys are more familiar with. Things like Underground Classics, Aster's brand new playlist Across the Pond, the Breakdown Volume 4. We have so many kind of smaller things that will be updated over the course of the next week or so. So again, just make sure you follow us on socials at All Music Mondays, and you guys will be updated on all of our latest playlists and content pieces. Now, of course, a couple of things. We're reworking the website as well, so expect a couple of brand new website upgrades as far as aesthetics go. Couple of text changes, nothing like super major, but again, just more of a what's the word? Spring cleaning, if you will. Yes, spring cleaning. So again, that's what's up and coming for Music Mondays as the next couple of months goes. But of course, you guys can expect the weekly content to stay the same as well. Written articles every Friday. Expect the audio podcast to go live every Thursday. Submissions open for the podcast and SoundCloud Sunday every Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, we have daily content for pretty much everybody. So again, make sure you follow us on socials if you're interested, especially if you haven't already. You should be doing that. You should definitely be doing that. But before we get into reactions and reviews, I have a couple of topics that we're going to talk about over the course of September. We're going to talk about distribution. We're going to talk about easy tutorials and resources for newer artists. I have a lot of like really interesting discussion segments that I really want to get down to. But to kind of finish off the month, I think it'll be nice to get another edition of community feedback up and running. So with that said, many of you guys know our discussion segments are filled with a wide variety of things, right? Super simple topics to maybe more complex topics, maybe more discussion segments rather than tips and tricks. But regardless, you guys know we've touched on a wide range of things. So, this week, we are searching for community feedback. So if there's something you'd like to see myself or the Music Monday staff team or anybody else around Music Mondays discuss here on the show, definitely let us know. Because, like I said, we have a lot of topics planned when it comes to tips and tricks, real open discussions and kind of thinking segments and things like that. But we're always open to community feedback and things that you guys would like to see here on the show. Because again, there are things that sometimes I overlook, or maybe the staff overlooks, or some things that we might not have covered unless somebody was like, "Yo, maybe you should talk about this," or maybe you should tell people how to do this. So if there's anything that kind of interests you in that realm of things, and you're like, "Yo, um, I'm really trying to hear what you have to say about this," because again, I don't know everything, so if it's a topic that I might not have um an extended amount of knowledge on, there's definitely somebody around the staff or around us that definitely does. So we can bring them here on the show and really talk about a wide range of topics realistically. So that's something that's very, very important. So again, we are searching for community feedback. So this will definitely be on YouTube. And of course, if you see this on socials, we're definitely interested in what you'd like to see here on the show. Would you like to see more tutorial type content? Is there anything that you'd like a little help with, or things that you have trouble with, or things that you really think maybe newer artists would really benefit from? There's a couple of routes that we could really go down when it comes to that, but we always want to get the community involved and really hear what the community has to say when it comes to things that they want to hear or things that they want to see. So you guys are a big part of why we do this. So again, we always want to include you and really get your opinions on everything. So again, if you're watching this on YouTube, definitely drop anything you'd like to see on the show in the comments below. If you see this on socials, definitely send us a tweet, send us a DM, send us anything. Let us know what you'd like to see here on Music Mondays, on the podcast, and on Music Mondays in general, most likely. Um, you know, both ways, to be honest with you. But again, community feedback number 4, definitely let us know what you want to see. So that's that, my friends. Always looking for more community feedback and always interested in what's everybody else would like to see here on the show, right? Because we have a lot of things planned, right? Like we could always go subject to subject to subject, but if we just kind of feed everybody, everything that we want to see or anything that we want to do, then there won't be a lot of things that can really get the community involved. So very, very important, very important. So with that said, you guys know the drill. Let's hop into some reactions and reviews. Lots of interesting things coming, man. Me and the staff team are just realistically on a tear. Some stuff obviously I can't talk about, but there'll be things that'll eventually reveal themselves. Believe that, my friends. So as we switch over screens here, like I said, let's get into some reactions and reviews. Most of you guys know the drill, but if you don't and you're new here and you're like, Zom, Music Mondays, how do I submit to the show? Why do you take submissions on Twitter? What's the problem? What's going down? Why do you do things the way you do them? So, you guys know the drill. Artists and creatives submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays. Live on 8/28/23 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/ZonPlays, which is here and now. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. 4-hour show limit. Must be following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Patreon subscribers submissions played first each week. So, what does all that mean? Contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to a wide range of topics and art forms and music and media. Quite literally everything from vocals, instrumentals, graphic design, photography, vlogs, music videos, lyric videos. If you're an independent artist, you're an underground creative, you're an independent creative, and you feel like you deserve some spotlight on Music Mondays, feel free to drop any link, submission, anything like that. Feel free. We are definitely open to everybody. 4 hour show limit. Many of you guys know the Music Mondays podcast used to run quite long. We used to do 5 to 6 hour shows, sometimes 7 hours. Eventually, that didn't become practical every Monday, not only for the pressure on myself and the team, but it wasn't very palatable to watch back. One could argue that a 4 hour show is still pretty hard to watch back, but it's definitely a lot better than seven. I can definitely tell you that it's definitely a lot better than seven. Um, but 4 hours is like that nice kind of sweet spot where we can talk for a bit at the start of the show. We can get a massive chunk of submissions in, and everybody's kind of happy, right? So 4 hours is really where we landed the mark. Because again, as many of you guys know, there aren't many live shows that are weekly, right? Even if shows are weekly, a lot of them aren't live. There aren't many that are quite literally live every single week this consistently. So again, it just didn't seem practical to get these massively long live streams in every single week. So again, 4 hours seemed to be the appropriate kind of middle, I guess middle ground. Yeah, like just right down the middle. So that's that on that. And of course, submissions are free. They always have been, and they always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you submit to not only help grow our platform and help spread our message, but it helps our community grow. And it helps pay respect to everybody else that submits every week, right? Because some people submit first thing every Tuesday. So again, we wouldn't want to kind of disrespect anybody like that. So again, that's the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you submit. Now, one might wonder, 4 hour show limit would probably mean that some shows might not play all of the submissions, right? So that's where the Music Mondays Patreon comes in. The Music Mondays Patreon has a wide variety of perks and content that are exclusive to the Patreon, but one perk that is exclusive to every tier on our Patreon is the Music Mondays Fast Pass. So if you're an artist, you're interested in a lot of our behind the scenes content over there on Patreon, you will gain access to the Music Mondays Fast Pass. So essentially, that guarantees your submission to be played first here on the Music Mondays podcast every week for the duration that you submit and that you're pledged to the Music Mondays Patreon. So obviously, it's on a monthly pledge basis. So again, about every 4 weeks, you'll have your submissions played first here on the show, as long as you're Music Mondays Patreon. Pretty simple. So that's how we kind of navigated that, because not everybody cares whether their submissions even get played, and everybody is kind of different. Some people really want their submissions played and uploaded and fully promoted and things like that. So that definitely was interesting to enough people, along with the bonus early access content and a lot of the other things you get over there on Patreon. Because again, we tried to really hook it up. So again, if that's something that really interests you, definitely go check out our Patreon and go show our patrons some love. And again, a huge shout out to everybody who's already a current Patreon. You guys are amazing. But outside of that, that's kind of like the big kind of rule set and everything that really you need to know. Outside of that, the only thing that you do need to know is that submissions close on the day of the show, right? So they'll close about an hour or so before the show starts, just to really get a head count and just to make sure that nobody kind of submits late and tries to sneak in front of somebody that submitted like a week ago. But it's mostly just to get a head count, because many of you guys know we are a live show. So this is really just an easy way for us to tell if we're going to have a super, super long show, or it's going to be, kind of in the middle. So just keep that in mind. You have just about 7 days, 6.5 technically, to get your tracks in. And again, submissions open every Tuesday following the show. So if you're watching this live, submissions open tomorrow, August 29th. If you're watching this on YouTube, submissions are definitely already open, so go find the tweet, go find the post, and you should be all good. So, with that said, let's see what we got here this week, chat. I know we have a decent amount. We got Jordan Andrew up first. Literally, that's one of our Patreons. So we got one Patreon on deck already. We got the homie Blank Thought. Who else? King Mark. Okay, that's 3. And I think that's it. Yeah, so 3 of our Patreons came through tonight. I am down for the cause. But what's good, chat? How we doing? Tarek, what's cracking? Happy Monday. Welcome on in, my friend. I hope you're well. I hope you're chilling. Happy Monday. Kick back, grab a snack. We're really about to dive in, to be honest with you. But let's get into it. You guys know the drill. We're gonna go through our patrons first, and then we'll go through the rest of the community submissions. So with that said, up first is the homie Jordan Andrew, a super talented alternative vocalist and producer, Music Mondays Patreon. Just a whole wide variety of talents. But they submitted, what am I gonna do about it? Now, Jordan Andrew officially transitioned into Jordan Andrew across all social medias, so there's no longer an SLM around. So if you're ever interested about anything to do with Jordan Andrew, find them at Jordan Andrew. So again, they submitted a track titled "What Am I Gonna Do About It?" 14 days ago, relatively new, actually brand new. And now we got art by the homie Michael. Now this is from the EP Why Are You Awake? Now, actually, yeah, okay, so now this is all coming back to me. This is all coming back to me because last week's track was relatively dark. It wasn't like super dark, but it was relatively dark. I'm definitely excited to get into another one of these. Let's get into it. Jordan Andrew, what am I going to do about it?
Big 3 cap, like all I want right now is a chance. But I need rehab, nothing crazy, but nothing going like I planned. But I'ma be back once I learn to sleep again. When rhymes get too sad, go back to making music with my friends. I'm still choosing how this book will end like second person. I'm expecting perfect when we jam, that's what's really working. So I'm working on what I can. If you know another way, instead of pouring something again, I might just go to sleep today instead of burning up by the fan. I just looked the other way, I just lost another day again. I just wanna say one day I really gave it a chance. I try not to pretend. You feel me? Why don't you stay here to dance? I might just have too much to say now, so sorry in advance. I'm doing what I can, but I know that I could do some more. So look, now here I am. It's a 4:45, gotta change that mix again. Probably still need some more fucking. No one gives a damn. What am I gonna do about it? Probably everything I can. Probably everything I can. What am I gonna do about it? Everything I can. Yeah. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? What am I gonna do about it? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do about it? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do about it? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Great fade out. Definitely a great fade out. So I really feel like this is like the most alternative we've seen Jordan to this day. Cause like I feel like old Jordan was very much cloud. Like definitely still had like an alternative vibe, but this is very much like even like alternative for Dead Lighters. Like I definitely feel like this is a great direction. And it's kind of blending everything that Jordan was like super solid at. So there's a lot to break down here. But you guys know the drill. We're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of what am I gonna do about it. So man oh man. Let's talk instrumental because This is a very simple instrumental, right? There's not like a lot to unpack, but it's very much well utilized. And as we've slowly said here pretty consistently on the show, not everything needs to be super complex. So when it comes to instrumentals, sometimes more is kind of shitty and less is really good. And this is one of those cases where the less kind of sounds you have to mess around with, the more room there is for vocals, obviously, but there's more room for the instruments and the drums and everything else to just kind of breathe. And I think that's kind of what we're dealing with here. This is an instrumental that is mixed down to a T, especially for what it is. So again, no complaints with the mix at all. Um, you know, many of you know Jordan Andrew, but if you don't, this is an artist that has a very solid mix when it comes to instrumentals, as well as their vocals, of course. But strictly speaking, on the instrumental, super solid. So not really a shocker, but something you always got to point out. So I do like this mix a lot, especially with the kind of like non-process approach, right? You have like acoustic guitar, you have kind of like live drums, and it's just less processed. So when it comes to mixing those sort of things, it can always be a big hit or miss. It can be like, oh my god, that was super easy, this sounds great, or oh my god, this sounds like shit, and it kind of gives you an issue. So with that said, the mix is great. Um, Instrumental Shining Star. I'm big on the drums. I like the kind of live approach a lot, but I'm big on the kind of acoustic sound in general, but I like Jordan Andrew and acoustic sounds. So I'm tempted to kind of say the melody and kind of really, take the easy way out, but the structure is definitely an underrated part of this instrumental. I feel like the way that this was structured out kind of it just gives that roller coaster kind of effect, and again kind of stretches out the rest of the song, to be honest with you. So structure is definitely like an underrated part of this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say the melody. I just love the acoustic approach, and I feel like Jordan Andrew definitely blends well with the acoustic kind of areas. Definitely, definitely. So the instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. So vocals are great. Jordan Andrew is not really an artist that tends to stray away from how they mix their vocals a lot. I definitely don't think this is an artist that kind of likes to go here and over there and over here and over there with their vocal mixing. But that's not to say they don't change it and they're not like progressing it. I just think that they have a very like comfortable sweet spot when it comes to their vocals, and I think this is again a track that kind of makes that side of their vocals come out, right? Because with these vocals we have like a bit of like a reverb, kind of like radio voicemail kind of approach, but it's not like too lo-fi esque. Um, it kind of has like a lo-fi vibe, but not really. They're still like crisp, clear, but it brings a little bit of that like nostalgia kind of feel, I guess, or I guess slight lo-fi, but not really. Like it's a bit of a mix with the reverb, so it's again kind of hitting that sweet spot. It's not too overbearing, but um it's not underwhelming. It's just right, and of course they sit right in the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely. I don't think anything was clashing at all. Um, Overall, I think this vocal mix in particular works well, definitely. Because again, with these kinds of instrumentals, they can be a big hit or miss when it comes to the mix. So, um, vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. Hmm. I love the delivery lately, especially this track and the last track. I feel like the delivery was really crazy. Um, Writing's definitely up there. I'm kind of torn between writing and delivery. Because the flow and cadence is definitely up there too. I mean, you could pair that with delivery, but I mean, we know Jordan's an excellent writer, right? So I feel like a flow and cadence and delivery has got to be the winner here, just because it's very like one of those like ambitious kind of like flows that like sometimes when you first do it, it feels weird, or you're like, damn, I don't know if I like this. But Jordan's kind of been building on that with their flows and cadences and kind of like how they deliver tracks when they're performing and recording. Um, so yeah, flow and cadence and delivery, definitely, definitely. Writing's a close second though, definitely. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, flow and cadence delivery. Let's talk theme. So theme. We spoke a little bit about this art last week. Great. I mean, like, what is there to say about Michael anymore, man? Like, Michael has just this insane kind of aesthetic that is different every time. It's insane because it makes you feel the same, but it's different every time. It's always a pleasure to see what Michael comes up with. But for this one in particular, like I said last week, I like the kind of cold blue feeling that we're getting from this. Um, just because a lot of the tracks they're not like outwardly like sad, but they are a bit on the personal kind of like colder side, right? So I feel like this art really works. It does. Um, so aesthetics on point. Overall theme. What am I gonna do about it? So this is kind of a short but straight to the point kind of track. Um, a little bit about self improvement, but a little bit about kind of also recognizing that you're not necessarily like in a rut, but you're in kind of in between a rock and a hard place. And it kind of says it in the title, like, what am I going to do about it? But I definitely feel like Jordan was um in the mindset of almost like, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Like, no matter like what the problem is, it's more about the solution. You know what I mean? And I think even though like at face value you could think of it as like a personal track, but I definitely think it's more of like a motivational track. It's just like you could be faced with all these kind of humps and bumps and issues, but it's just like that's not shit until you're thinking, what am I gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Because something's got to give. And Jordan definitely got right to the point with this one, definitely. But well done, well done. So with that said, a huge shout out to Jordan Andrew. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Jordan Andrew on SoundCloud. They are 9 follows away from 80. And of course, make sure you follow Jordan on Twitter. They are 5 follows away from 340. Go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 210 subscribers on the Music Mondays channel. Make sure you go subscribe if you haven't already. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, and a whole lot of good stuff is available on the channel. So make sure you go show the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. So, continuing on, that was our first Patreon of the night. Huge shout out to Jordan Andrew. Thank you so much, my friend. But up next, we got the homie, Blank Thought. Now, Blank Thought's been on a tear, not only in 2023, but really just as of lately, because last week's track was fucking crazy, like really, really crazy. But this week they submitted Blue Note Cipher, a real throwback EP. Now, for those of you that don't know Blank Thought, a super, super talented, multi-genre producer, to be honest with you. But like I said, they submitted a track titled Blue Note Cipher. Now, it looks like there's a stack of people on this track. Let's see what we got here. Repetition Side A. 2022. Okay, so not like super old last year. Okay. Blue Note Cypher. Like Thought I Forgot. Amy and Dion and Johnny. We've definitely to like react to the majority of these artists. At least once or twice from Blank Thought. At least once or twice. But let's get into it. Blank Thought, Blue Note Cypher.
Hey, yo, shout out Blank Thought, man. 845, we in a motherfucking building. You already know what it is. Let's get it, bro. Yo.
Bitch.
He casts a shadow like a wizard class with infinite predictions. It'd be tricky if you did the math. I used to scribble little limericks while I'd sit in class. Now I'm pitching hymnals, still indifferent if I miss the mask. Mr. Pass me the Dutchie and start a cipher up. I'm burning with my buds and freestyling once we light the blunt. With every line they finna hype me up. I don't even need to see a pad, bro. I promise ya I don't write enough. I done forgot more verses than I could care to count. Black book stacked to the beams, it seems an unfair amount. Build the shit 10 times higher each time they tear it down. He would order smoke, only hope is if you gon' air it out. Whereabouts used to be the town with crowns and hollow tips, but now he floats close to the coast, flows to go wobble ships. Quite indifferent if the listeners acknowledge it. The quill sharper than steel. As for the name, well, I forgot the shit.
Okay.
Dion. Look, no weapon formed against, distorting the pen. Every line like a snort of 10, let it course in. Fortunate the sun zipped the water clear. Chopping air, chords in his vocals pair along the snare. Every volume spoken in decibels, immeasurable. Every adjective indefensible. Words hit padded Kevlar to the illiterate. They didn't beat the syllabus, they running out of syllables. Dion, but you could call me Fame Lillard. Name killer, lane filler, rain spiller, ain't Rilla. Me and forgot like Cannon the Rock. Leaving MCs drop, you're lying if you ain't smell it. Oh my Mufasa, you should let your pride down. That's a true lost cause, I bring the boom and the shock. A la Ka, you're moving like Apple in 11. Oh, pardon offense, I'm starting again. I'm like the Carter in the barter, you carcinogens. Remain a martyr for a starter that kept me on my tens. Parsing feet, D'Artagnan, on guard if you're swanging. Parchment stay banked, all my notes is blue. And it's laced with the syrup how the North will do. If you're trying to catch up, you need a course or two. Reminisce to Genesis. What a view,
It's now or never, give it to you like an altruist. The ups and downs propel me feats and beats, but I'm no alchemist. If we not on the same frequency, I'm staying out the mix. People speaking negative about the X, you not above the Bronx like Yonkers. Set it straight like Misha Collins, make a little on my lonely. Rest in peace, speaking knockers. Ain't no kaiju, but on this beat you see monsters sparring, heads nodding, gave them whiplash. What drum beats do you march to? Cops lurking like imposter syndrome, messengers of martyr pigs. Not healing properties, they ain't crystals for your chakra. Still flowing, be like water, mental high and up scales. I pentatonic, stench your ganja, always off and never bothered like my elders watching. Doing moto bene, papa near Little Italy. Get into the cream, no penne alla vodka. Cash rules everything like a monarchist. Commonwealth low, need funds longer. Live for the guala, but when you die, they dress you up like a bank teller. Health is well, felt the past to be frank. Endless, listen, your man wrestle with the thoughts. Now I'm selling the fight. Hell of a life, shown since my genesis, let there be light. While stands harassed with paragraphs, justified if they die tribe. I'm just trying to write, trying to vibe. Student of the game, I give college to your college try. Chaotic times, for inquiring minds. You can miss me with a dotted line, no signature moves for now. Every tree is known by its fruit, no beats made when I'm thrown for a loop. Went through sour patches, sugar coated the truth, compounded like glucose. I'm growing too old for this coupe. We uncomfortably watch as the other shoe drops. Told to shuffle along, I always stuck to the bars. The hunger fuels every track you send. I run through them all. I'm too diverse, don't be shocked when I'm gonna do pop.
Seriously? Like, fuck, bro. I like the fact that he let it ride out too. I feel like letting it ride out was like a really good play. Definitely. Well done. It's not often that we get to actually react to a cipher. Just because I feel like we talk about them so much, because so many tracks are like in like a cipher format, but they're not necessarily like a cipher. This one is quite literally a Blue Note cipher. So much to break down here. Let's talk about it. We're talking about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Blue Note Cipher. So let's talk about the instrumental here, because again, we kind of have a case of less is more, right? I definitely feel like this is one where Blank Thought didn't have to go above and beyond for a Cypher instrumental. I mean, realistically, who knows? This could have been a song for one person, and then another person was like, yo, let me hop on that, and then, you know, yo, let me hop on that, and then eventually you just have a fucking Cypher. Like, that's just how it goes, man. Like, but for this instrumental in particular, the mix is great, nothing clashing to overbearing. Everything sits real nicely, everything cuts through real nicely. No gripes. I mean, much like Jordan Andrew, Blank Thought is an artist where their mix is always really tight and really well rounded. It's definitely not a mix where, you know, it ranges and it's always changing. And nah, this is definitely a producer that has a very consistent and well rounded mix. So the mix is solid. Instrumental Shining Star. So I'm big on the melody. I'm definitely big on the melody. But the drums are a big part of actually like having a little bit of groove and making things a little bit more bouncy, right? And really gave everybody's vocals a little bit more kind of like it was just a lot of jazz. And it felt right. So for that reason, even though the drums aren't like overly crazy, I feel like the drum selection and the sound selection was really on point, and it definitely gave that like classic Cypher vibe. So the bounce was really all it needed to like really feel proper. So definitely the drums, definitely the drums. So let's talk vocals. Now we have 3 artists on here, and then of course Blank Thought as the producer. So I mean, the vocal mix across the board is really solid. I mean, especially if you consider if Blank Thought did mix this track all the way through and mixed everybody's vocals, I feel like this is great. Again, not just instrumentals, but when it comes to vocals, Blank Thought is an artist that you can always trust when it comes to having a really tight and well-rounded mix. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Everybody's vocals sit nicely. Everything cuts through nicely. There really is 0 gripes with this vocal mix across the board. Not for Forgot, not for Damon, and not for Johnny. All 3 of them sound really, really awesome on this track. Vocal Shining Star. I mean, we have 3 artists here. And it'd kind of be unfair to like really pick like one part that was like, you know, kind of the Shining Star. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and say writing, just because writing was really crazy across the board. And when it comes to ciphers, like that's one of the best parts about like actually listening to them for the first time. It's just listening to everybody go back to back to back with verses. So definitely writing. Definitely writing. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid. Definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So when it comes to the overall theme, let's talk aesthetics first. This is kind of a more rare Blank Thought cover. I noticed that Blank Thought tends to gravitate towards like the like old school like library book, like not like ancient, but it's like old school, like it's something, it feels very classical. And this is right up this is right up there for sure. But the project is called Repetition Side A. So I definitely think this makes sense, right? I mean, the old style clock, the overall edit, the parental advisory in the bottom left. I mean, it does the job for a EP. It definitely does the job, for sure. So, aesthetics on point. Overall theme. I mean, Blue Note Cipher, realistically, definitely not written or was performed with a theme in mind. Um, but when it comes to actually nailing like the original like Cipher classic like back to back with verses kind of feel, they nailed it. They definitely nailed it for sure. Everybody killed it too. Like there wasn't like a standout verse. I mean, nah, not really to be honest with you. Like everybody was like super original, but it wasn't like someone was like noticeably killing it more than the other two. Like it wasn't a case like that. I felt like all three definitely killed it. And then you had Blank Thought in production, so well done. With that said, huge shout out to Blank Thought. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Blank Thought on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Blank Thought on Twitter. They are approaching 1.1K on the Bird app. Make sure you show Blank Thought some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the Music Mondays main channel. We upload two motherfucking times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff is available on the channel. And if you're already subbed, thank you, my friends. Mika, what's good? Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream and family. Welcome on in. You're late to the party. Saint Wave, what's good, my friend? I hope you're well. Happy Monday. Welcome on in. Let's get it, baby. I hope you're chilling, chat. We're just vibing in here, man. We're just vibing. So, that was our first two patrons tonight. We had the homie Jordan Andrew, and we had the homie Blank Thought. But our last Patreon of the night, the homie King Mark. Now, Mark has really stepped up the gear in the last like couple of months, and especially in terms of like quality and really how they've been laying down their vocals and really approaching how they record. And this is just an artist that is really getting into the nitty-gritty of their craft. They really are. Mark is just one of them that is going to work very hard and has been working very hard this year. But they submitted a track titled Scared to Sleep freestyle. Let's see what we got here, chat. Optus open in a new tab because it could be unreleased. We indeed do have a unreleased track, though. Oh shit, and we got lyrics and description. Okay. I like this cover. This one's bringing like a very nighttime vibe, except like not like fast-paced nighttime. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's get into it. Exclusive, unreleased, King Mark premiering on Music Mondays right now. Scared to Sleep freestyle.
Hey, joyful.
I can't kill myself with you.
I figured as much. Think about it.
This beat was really crazy. Okay, so lots to go into here, chat. Lots to go into here. Let's break this one down, man. Let's break this one down. So, obviously, we're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Scared to Sleep. So, instrumental, man. You could obviously tell that this was a collab instrumental, right? It just has that kind of like pizzazz to it. I've spoke a little bit about this on the show before, but not too much. It's really one of those things where like some instrumentals just come out so unique and so cohesive that there's no way that two brains didn't work on it. And this is definitely one of those. This is definitely one of those for sure. But the mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Everything knocks just right. Everything cuts through nicely. Mark's vocals sit nicely. No gripes with this instrumental mix whatsoever. I feel like everything was like really on point. Instrumental Shining Star. Now the drums were a big deal. I feel like the 808 was really well placed and really well utilized. It wasn't like overdone. The drums in general, right? I mean, the sound selection was great, but the melodies here were a big part of the dreamlike, ethereal kind of vibe that this song gave off. So definitely the melodies for sure. Not even a question, actually. Not even a question. So let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great. Again, Mark has been kind of alternating between a couple different types of mixes and really like not like experimenting, but really just trying to improve upon the skills that they have now. So again, mix is very solid. Nothing clashing too overbearing at all. Everything cuts through real nicely for sure. Vocals sit nicely. Mark's really perfecting this style of not only their mixing but how they deliver and then how they go into the mixing process as well. So a lot of that stuff goes hand in hand, and Mark's done a really good job kind of really just trying to build on this style, you know, just really build and improve it for sure. So the vocal mix is great. Vocal Shining Star. I kind of want to say writing, but I don't know, because flow and cadence is really underrated on this one, man. Like I feel like you could like look over that so much. Yeah, definitely delivery and flow and cadence, man. Like the writing's definitely up there, but like the writing shines because of how this is delivered and how everything is kind of like laid out on the track. So definitely delivery and cadence for sure. Um, let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Like I said, this is giving me a very like nighttime, but not like it's not like nighttime like super fast kind of highway vibes. This is very much like chill, 3 a.m. late night parking lot, just kind of kicking it. So like this is like really it's really going hand in hand with how this track in particular kind of makes you feel, to be honest with you. Like This is a very like how this cover looks is exactly how this song makes you feel, for sure. So this is like a very on point cover. So let's talk theme. I mean, like, of course, like, Scared to Sleep, right? And then you could literally, like, sum it up in a line. Like, at the end of the day, like, that's kind of the theme there. But Mark has done a really good job kind of expanding upon whatever they're writing about. And that's really been, like, a day one skill set, is Mark has really been able to take, like, a simple theme and, like, expand upon how they feel about it. Something super simple, like, because I feel like people are, like, backwards with it sometimes, or, like, different, and they want to take, like, how they feel and expand upon that. But Mark takes how they feel and puts it in a really simple way and then expands upon it. So it's like this very, like, interesting way of writing that I feel like it could go unnoticed if like, you don't kind of, like, catch on to it early on enough. But Mark always does a good job with these, like, relatively, like, easy to catch on to themes, but really, like, is, like, vivid and, like spot on with how they feel and making you understand how they feel. Definitely an artist that is easy to, like, fit in their shoes and like, kind of go into their kind of mindset. You know what I mean? So that's very important. Very important. With that said, a huge shout out to King Mark. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow King Mark on SoundCloud. They are 9 follows away from 190. Go show Mark some love on the cloud, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you follow Mark on the Bird app. Again, 7 away from 3 hundo. 7. That's a great milestone, man. Go show Mark some love with the Bird. And again, we're approaching 210 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, my friends. So if you're not subbed, go check out the channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, and a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. Go check out the channel. Go show these artists some love, man. Mark, what's good? Welcome on in. Happy Monday. How goes it? Hope you're well. We're just in here vibing. Much love, brother. Gotta get back to work. I got you, my friend. Enjoy. Stay safe. We'll be here grinding. All right. So yeah, you guys know the drill. That was all of our Patreons for the night. Huge shout out to Jordan Andrew, Blank Thought, and King Mark for not only being Patrons, but also submitting to the Music Mondays podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, now, to our community submissions. Let's get into it. Up first, we got the homie Braden. Now, again, this is an artist who's been incredibly consistent in 2023, especially over the last couple of months. You know, multi-genre, super wide range, like just a super talented alternative vocalist. Now, Braden submitted a track titled Kicking Indoors. Let's see what we got here. Pop that open in a new tab. Now, let's see what we got. Now, relatively new, actually, like, brand new. When did this come out? 22nd. So this is literally 6 days old, man. Signature Braden art that is always, like, top tier, man. But let's get into it. Hi, Braden, Kicking Indoors.
From the jump, I'm him, I feel like Jace. Talk your tough shit either way, won't say it to my face. If that bitch boy talking tough, I'ma hit him with a mace. You got a whole ass girl, but ain't make it a first base. The bullets in him are adjacent. They wanna feed for me, they want a placement. He talking tough and them bullets be spraying. They know I'm a motherfucking sensation. I'm a motherfucker up and you know that they hating. He tryna be for me, I bring the cane. Poppin' a cut and a motherfucker faded. I'm not a white bitch, but I be slaying. Bitch, I be slaying these hoes. I got the drip, they don't know. They tryna beat me, these motherfuckers clones. You know my skin, boy, you know my bro. They tryna copy my flow. You wanna feed, but that motherfucker's old. Fuck a label, I ain't selling my soul. If you tryna slide, then we kicking in doors. From the jump, I'm him, I feel like Jace. Talk your tough shit either way, won't say it to my face. If that bitch boy talking tough, I'ma hit him with a mace. Yes, sir. You got a whole ass girl, but ain't make it a first base. The bullets in him are adjacent. They wanna feed for me, they wanna placement. They talking tough, then them bullets be spraying. They know I'm a motherfucking sensation. A motherfucker up and you know that they hate it. You tryna be for me, I bring the K in. Poppin' a cut and a motherfucker faded. I'm not a white bitch, but I be slaying.
Wow. Okay, so this is a very like okay, I wouldn't say that this is like a this is like this is like a different kind of track than we're used to from Brayden, but it's definitely like it's definitely a bit like outside of the Brayden usual. It's also a very interesting choice of instrumentals. So I feel like there's a lot to break down here, and we should get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Kicking Indoors. So, instrumental wise, again, kind of an interesting choice. Obviously this is a collab, right? 2 artists on here, so not necessarily like just Brayden as a say, but it's definitely an interesting pick for sure. It has a very like plug, like alt trap, kind of like anti pop, like slightly aggressive kind of vibe. It's giving a couple genres, but I like the choice. Like I definitely feel like Brayden's like, because like Brayden always had a real good lock on like alternative instrumentals, right? But going like the opposite direction sound wise is a great way to like not only improve your vocals but just improve your versatility and really improve like how you could write and like really improve like your versatility essentially, you know what I mean? But as far as the instrumental goes, the mix is solid. Um as wild as an instrumental as it is, it's not bad. Like everything's pretty well rounded, nothing's clashing too overbearing. Drums are nice, drum selection's nice for sure. Mells are crazy, but they're solid. They're definitely solid. Yeah, I would say this prod did a really good job. Really, really good job. No like real gripes that I'm kind of thinking of right now that I'm like, yeah, no. The instrumental mix is solid, like especially for like what it is, you know? Definitely solid. Definitely solid. So instrumental Shining Star. I like the drums a lot, like I said. The drum selection is definitely like a big one there for sure. I feel like the drums are up there, but like the melody is very rememberable. Like the melody's like super up there in terms of like what you remember this track for, and it just brings so much aggression, man. It really does. It really does. Definitely melody. Definitely melody for sure. Um okay. Okay. So let's talk vocals because wow. Vocal mix is great, especially for both of these artists. I definitely feel like I had no gripes, to be honest with you. They were nice and grimy on this. Everybody kind of had their own space. Instrumental cuts through nicely. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Definitely well rounded for both of them. No gripes whatsoever, to be honest with you. So the vocal mix is solid. And again, Braden's definitely one of those artists, like I always talk about, that like really has had like such a consistent mix that it's really not a shocker, but you always got to point it out, right? I definitely think it's like I definitely think that's important. I definitely think that's important for sure. So the mix is solid. Vocal shining star. So I like writing across the board for both of these artists, definitely. But Braden has this like such a like skill for writing hooks and performing them that it's like holy fuck. And this is definitely one of those cases where the hook is like it's just fucking crazy. Like the flow, the attitude, and kind of like how it's delivered is perfect. So definitely the hook. Definitely the hook, 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Writing's a close second though. Overall theme. So aesthetics. I mean, you guys kind of know how I feel about Braden and their aesthetics, right? And this is just another one of those that kind of hit the mark. You know what I mean? Really, really hit the mark. It's consistent. It goes along with the rest of the pieces. It's kind of like humorous. Like these covers are just iconic. You know what I mean? Simple but really well done. So definitely, obviously, an excellent choice. But I've always been a fan of their aesthetics. You know what I mean? Like just because of how consistent they are across the board. You know, like there's realistically like so many different versions of these that I don't know, something about it's great though. So aesthetics on point, definitely single worthy, definitely. Um, hmm. So overall theme, relatively simple. Kicking indoors. I mean, realistically, um, Braden and Curse kind of take turns here talking about um people that kind of cross lines along with people that are kind of like disrespectful, but also again kind of touching on the people that are super cap, the people that are just all talk. You know what I mean? So Braden does a really good job being like very surface level with it, but also making it like really easy to understand and giving people the ability to be like, oh damn, like I relate to that like a lot. And Braden has a couple of these more like high energy, very aggressive tracks where they don't have to go lyrically insane to like make you understand like where they're coming from on a track like this that has a little bit more attitude than the usual. So well done. Well done. So with that said, make sure you follow Braden on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Braden on Twitter. Thank you so much for this submission, my friend. Much, much love. And of course, Braden is only 10 followers away from 50. So make sure you go follow Braden on Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 210 subaroonies on the main Music Mondays channel, my friends. So definitely go sub the channel if you haven't already. Because yeah, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff is available over there on the channel. And if you already have, you've been dropping likes, you've been dropping comments, you've been subbed for a while, you subbed yesterday, we appreciate you, and thank you, thank you, thank you. So, up next, we got the homie Mac 2 times. Now, Mac, again, is an artist that has been killing it with singles this year. They have just been on a singles tear, but also kind of really improving their style and their quality, and a lot of these smaller things about their craft realistically, but a super talented alternative hip hop vocalist, Mac 2 times submitted Exploded Star. Let's see what we got here. Now we got lyrics and description. Okay, we love that. 6 days ago, so brand spanking new, literally not even a week old. Mac 2 times kind of cover for sure. Definitely. Alright, let's get into this, chat. Mac 2 times Exploded Star.
Shoulda knew that you would play with me. Looking back now, wish you never would've lived with me. How did I give you my all, but you still take from me? This new broken-hearted nigga, what you made of me? Yeah, feel like I love too hard and it's never enough. I wish I knew from the start that you wasn't in a rush. I keep choosing the wrong ones, guess I'm so out of luck. Every of us being stars, but I'm the one blowing up. I'm still appalled from the day that you told me it was over. I'm pouring lean, and despite no, I don't fuck with the cola. Protect myself from these demons, just me and my revolver. Still wanna go back to that day and wish I never had saw you. I was in way too deep, promised I wouldn't fall. Too vulnerable at the time, my heart was feeling cold. You know I'll never leave, to me that's what you told. Can't ever take these bitches' words, look at me on my own. You said you had some issues, but I hope that you would change. Change, yeah, I hope that you would change. Was way too quick to fall in love when you told me your name. Was way too quick to fall in love when you told me your name. But I dove right in without thinking, being way too brave. Brave, being way too brave. Now it's been like 20 days with cloudiness and rain. Now it's been like 20 days with cloudiness and rain. Feel like I love too hard and it's never enough. Now I wish I knew from the start that you wasn't in a rush. I keep choosing the wrong ones, guess I'm so out of luck. Every of us being stars, but I'm the one blowing up. Feel like I love too hard and it's never enough. Now I wish I knew from the start that you wasn't in a rush. I keep choosing the wrong ones, guess I'm so out of luck. Every of us being stars, but I'm the one blowing up. I'm blowing up.
Damn. Yeah. This might be some of the craziest writing we've heard from Mac. This just might be some of the craziest fucking writing. God damn. Okay. Alright. Well fucking done. Blank Thought, what's good? Hope you're well, my friend. Happy motherfucking Monday. Welcome on in. So let's break this one down, my friends, because Mac really served us with this one. Mac really came through on this one, man. This is some rare shit right here. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Exploded Star. So, we're talking about the instrumental here. I love the choice. It's nice and emotional. It's a very Mac 2 times kind of instrumental, right? Like, this is definitely something where I would listen to it and be like, yeah, Mac would go this for sure. So very, very solid choice. Back to the Mac 2 times kind of bread and butter, you know what I mean? Definitely very, very important. So let's talk mix here. The mix is great. Definitely love how everything flows together and how everything has its own space. Everything's nice and prominent, theatrical, vibrant. It definitely brings like a super fucking solid, like wide, kind of like everything has its own space kind of vibe for sure. Not even a question. And again, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Everything sits nice. Vocals sit nice. Everything's really kind of up there, to be honest with you. I just like this vocal mix a lot. Like, I wouldn't change a thing, to be honest with you. It's very leveled. It is, again, well-rounded is the perfect word for it, definitely. So the instrumental solid as far as the mix goes. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably the melody, to be honest with you. Like, the drums bring a lot of really good flow and bounce, and definitely gave Mac, like, the boost that this needed to, like, make it a little bit more, like, high energy. But the melody brought the emotion for me, and kind of brought that, like, kind of like, just pure emotion. Slightly motivational, but, like, slightly personal. It was a good mix between the two. It was definitely a good mix between the two, for sure. For sure. Um so let's talk vocals. So vocal mix is great. Like, I think that's one of the things that I, like, really noticed about this, like, right off the rip, was like, thought to myself, I was like, this is like one of the cleanest Mac 2 Times mixes we've heard in quite some time. And this was definitely one of them. Like I was like, hold on. So the mix kind of like blew this out of the park. I love the vocal mix on this a lot. Vocals sit nice, drums cut through nicely. Nothing clashing to overbearing. I think it's nice and level. Ad libs are great. Even like the smaller things on here are just like, wow. So not even a question. The mix is really stellar when it comes to the vocals. So vocal Shining Star. I love the writing a lot. But the flow and cadence and, like, the pure delivery and like the confidence and how Mac came on this track was really fucking different, man. Really different. So definitely flow and cadence. Writing's a close second though. Writing's definitely a close second, but flow and cadence all day, absolutely. Um, you could say hook, but again, like, flow and cadence, man. Like, Mac just sounds super different and confident and very much like high energy for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely melody. Vocal solid, definitely delivery. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. Relatively simple, but gets the job done. Like, I like Mac's approach here with this cover. I like how faded the text is, and like how almost like self-explanatory this is, but the more you look at it, the more you understand it too. So I think Mac did a really good job with this. Slap the parental advisory bottom right. You're good to go. So, overall theme. So, this one's kind of funny because you could go like super simple with this theme and you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's pretty obvious. Like, you know, the star explodes and kind of like a metaphor for Mac, and it's kind of like the redemption kind of quality, and you're just like, yeah, here we are, like, and I have to kind of restart the story and kind of pick up the pieces. But like the phrase exploded star kind of um kind of made sense to me in one certain line. Yeah, had dreams of us being stars, but I'm the one blowing up. That line in particular was the line where I was like, ah, so there's like kind of like a little bit of like subliminal metaphorical wordplay going on here. So this is kind of a deeper theme than many would kind of expect on the surface level. But Exploded Star is definitely one of those that like has a metaphorical meaning to Mac. But you could go a couple different ways with this theme if you're a first time listener. Not even a question. So with that said, a huge shout out to Mac 2 Times. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Mac on SoundCloud. They're literally 4 follows away from 30. And of course, make sure you follow Mac on Twitter. They are 3 follows away from 130. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the main channel, man. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good stuff's available there on the channel. So make sure you go show some love to the channel. If you already have, thank you. Even if you've been subbed, yesterday, you subbed last year, you've been fucking watching the videos, you've been dropping likes, you do anything, we appreciate it. Thank you, my friends. Much love. So, continuing on. Up next, we would have the homie Blank Thought, but Blank Thought is a Music Mondays Patreon, so we already reacted to a Blank Thought submission way earlier on in the show. Definitely feel free to check back and go check that out. But huge shout out to all of our patrons over there as well. But up next, we got the homie Offspring Mysterious. Now again, Offspring's had a really good 2023, especially in terms of their YouTube channel and how many edits they put out, and really going back and diving super deep into their production. And Offspring's, there's one thing you can take from them. Definitely a multi-talented artist when it comes to their creativity, right? Producer, editor, filmer, writer, graphic designer, like very multi-talented for sure. And this week, Offspring submitted music art, Mind of Hollow Offspring. So, let's see what we got here. We're going to pop this open, a new tab of Rooney, and see what we got from the homie Offspring Mysterious this week. So let's get a little super high quality on this. Bang, 1080 that, John. Sounds up. Let's get into it. Music art, Mind of a Hollow Offspring. No way. So we have a very, intricate description in here, and this is one where it's, short, sweet, to the point, you know what I mean? And that's why these content pieces known as music art are really, kind of next level, because this is an older Offspring Mysterious track, right? Mind of Hollow Offspring. So Offspring was able to come back and really rehash and kind of went really hard, to be honest with you. Wow. And lots of love in the original track as well. Lots of love. Definitely lots of love. Well done. Well done. So, let's break this one down. So, we're talking about 3 things. Actually, no, we're talking about 2 things, because obviously no vocals. We're talking about the instrumental, and we're talking about the addition of music art. So for the minute plus snippet that we heard, because the original I think is what? How long is the original actually? The original is 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So definitely not crazy long, but we can definitely get a little bit of a reaction review here for sure. So the mix is actually really solid. The mix is one thing about this that I was like, wow. Because sometimes for those older tracks, like most of us, you're not as proud of the mix. But this is one of Offspring's where I was like, this is actually a really, really solid mix. And like I like the way the drums are mixed. Everything's nice and level. The mells are loud. Everything kind of knocks too. So I like the mix a lot. I definitely like the mix a lot. Um, Instrumental Shining Star. The drums are big here, but the melody and the sample is super memorable. Like that vocal sample is definitely like just you could easily get that stuck in your head. Um, but the drums also do give it like a really nice bounce as well. So it's like probably probably the melody, to be honest with you. Because again, like the melody mixed with like the vocal sample is like very memorable and probably what you're gonna come back to this track for. Definitely. So definitely the melody and the vocal sample for sure. Let's talk about music art. So this edition again was fun and quick to the point, right? Clocking in at a minute 15. This is one that you could really post everywhere and anywhere. But I think Offspring did a really good job kind of, you know, using the short form video to their advantage with how much they could edit with. So you could really like go in a lot longer with editing as opposed to how much less you would have to edit if the video was longer. This is one where I felt like Offspring kind of had a little bit more fun and was like, you know what, fuck it. You know what I mean? And they really went above and beyond for this one. Because there was a lot of like chopping and cutting. Like there's not a lot of like post processing editing. But there's a very much like a lot of like a wide variety of scenes and shots that you would actually have to like just clip together. So I feel like Offspring did a really good job with the editing itself. And of course this isn't Offspring's first rodeo, so I feel like they did a good job. Definitely did a good job. This is one where again, short, sweet, and to the point. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Shining Star would probably have to be the variety, because I mean, like I feel like the edit's really well done, but the variety of the shots and how they flow is probably what got me for sure. So instrumental Shining Star, definitely the melody vocal sample. Music art Shining Star, definitely the editing and the variety of clips. Definitely the shots, for sure. Absolutely. And again, thank you so much, my friend, and well done. Make sure you go subscribe to Offspring Mysterious on YouTube. There, 2 subs away from 130, my friends. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. They are literally 9 follows away from 840. Go show Offspring some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the main channel. Make sure you go show the channel some love and these artists. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, let's get it really crazy for the drums, man. Like some of the smaller sounds for like the percussion and like just the overall sound selection was like really like well done and thought out. Like everything complements each other like really well. But the structure was something else that was really like you really noticed the structure in this track a lot. Just because it wasn't like anything crazy, it wasn't like super experimental structure, but it was like a very like interesting structure nonetheless that always kept progressing. But I kind of want to say the drums, I'm not gonna lie, just because the sound selection and like how everything was used was like really well done. Probably the drums, I'm not gonna lie to you. The drums are just really well done, but the melody's definitely a close second. Structure's probably a close third. So the instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals here. So short and sweet to the point. Because about halfway through the track, the rest of the instrumental kind of rides out. So we get a nice, like, little taste of vocals here, and it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So the vocal mix is great. Again, nothing clashing to overbearing. They sit nice in the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely. Definitely no gripes with the mix. Everything's nice and level. And again, usually with Money Green Music, this is a crew that always has a very solid vocal mix when it comes to any of their members. Very, very solid. Definitely. So the vocal mix is definitely up there. A vocal shining star, probably flow and cadence and delivery. It was super smooth, very melodic, very like it was very much a kickback and vibe kind of track, but the instrumental gave it that extra like punch that it needed. So I feel like the melodic kind of delivery like really shined, really shined here for sure. So definitely flow and cadence and delivery, absolutely. Love the way the song was performed. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely delivery. Flow. Let's talk theme. So you have the art here on your screen. Time of day, right? Relatively simple cover, but I love the amount of detail that this OJ carton has. Like this OJ carton has a crazy amount of detail compared to the rest of this cover, and I just love the amount of detail that is in there. Like I love the cover regardless, right? Definitely single worthy for sure. But I love the amount of detail that the OJ cover has. It's kind of nuts. But well done. I definitely like the choice. Time of day. So the overall theme, I would assume realistically it has to do with the phrase, right? Like give someone the time of day, and it's just kind of used in a couple different versions of wordplay and really like expanding upon the phrase itself. You know what I mean? This is kind of like a long-winded theme because you could talk about like the phrase and like what it really means, or like, you know, somebody actually giving people like the time of day or the time of their day. So really a couple different ways to like swallow this one and really like let it soak in on you, but I feel like that's for afterwards because the delivery and the flow and cadence and like how melodic these vocals were, it's gonna make you think and it's gonna make you be like, damn, like, oh shit, like one of those honest yet like high energy in your face kind of tracks in a softer kind of chill out way too, you know what I mean? So well done, well done. Of course, make sure you follow Money Green Music and No Pulp on Spotify, and of course make sure you follow MGM on Twitter. They're approaching 1.3K on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good stuff's available there on the main channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the main channel some love. And if you already have been, you've been dropping likes, you've been dropping comments, you've been sub for a grip, you've been sub since yesterday. We appreciate you. Thank you. So, you guys know the drill, man. We are about halfway through the show, so you guys know what that means. We're going to take a little commercial break. When we return, we're going to get right back into the rest of our reactions and reviews. So, for those of you in the chat, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you get up, go get a snack, go get a drink, go do whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Little smoke break, little stretch your legs. Go do whatever you got to do. And when we return with episode 136, we'll get right back into reactions and reviews. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays podcast, episode 136. I hope you're well, hope you're chilling, but we have some reactions and reviews to get back into. So, we left off with the homies at Money Green Music, but up next, we got the homie, Heavy Metaphors, an alternative producer, and they submitted a track titled Mud, Prod Heavy Metaphors, with Connor, and it looks like a couple of other homies. Let's see what we got here. Let's pop this open a new tab. It's been about a month or so since we heard from Heavy. So let's see what we got. 3 days ago, relatively new, definitely. Oh, it's a sample. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's get into it. We'll go 720. Mud, Prod Heavy Metaphors. Let's go. Cover's really crazy. Okay. Okay. So this is really fucking interesting. The sample was like I was very curious about the sample, and then um I realized that it's also an artist. You know what I mean? Um so yeah, lots of like really interesting stuff to talk about here for sure. Doesn't look like they've uploaded recently. Oh no, 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Definitely uploaded recently for sure. Okay, so we have a vocal sample on this. So realistically, we're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of the track. So I think what we'll focus on more is Heavy Metaphor's production as opposed to the vocal sample. Because I think obviously the production was kind of built around the vocals, right? And Heavy kind of did some work around it. So I think this was some good like reverse production going on here. Definitely. So let's talk about the mix. The instrumental mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. Everything kind of has its own space. Everything's nice and level. The bass is great. Drums are great. Vocals definitely sit nice. Especially for an instrumental that was like crafted around the vocals. I definitely think this like hit the mark for sure for me. No gripes with the instrumental mix at all. Usually Heavy has like a really solid mix, especially with like anything that they do as far as like samples or remixes or even their own like kind of single tracks. Their mix tends to be pretty consistent, so not really a shocker there. Um, hmm. Instrumental Shining Star. Now I thought about this a lot during this track and when it was playing. Because there's a lot I really do like about this, right? The drums are great. The drum selection is great, specifically the sound selection. Um, the male's great, but what kind of like took the cake for me as a listener was how the instrumental was progressing and how everything was laid out. The overall structure of this instrumental was very, very fucking solid. Like very solid. So I'm big on the structure. So no doubt structure is definitely the shining star when it comes to the instrumental. So obviously the vocals were a Connor vocal sample, so I'm not going to critique those way too much, just because I wanted to pay more attention to Heavy's production with them. So let's talk overall theme here. Now, when it comes to aesthetics, um, cover is really solid. Heavy always picks the the like mobile kind of dimensions here when it comes to their covers, and like their covers are always like either very unique or surrounded by like a decent visual. But this cover in particular is simple, straight to the point, and definitely single worthy. Brings a little bit of like a Club Mysterious vibe to it for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, no, aesthetics definitely on point. Now, Mud, obviously the title kind of has to do with a little bit of the Connor vocals, but at the same time, I definitely want to speak on how Heavy was able to really construct a solid instrumental for the raw vocals at hand, right? Because you could kind of go a couple different routes, and I definitely think Heavy really nailed the like reimagining of these vocals and what they really should be sounding like. It definitely gave like a good like alternative rock, indie rock, um, kind of vibe for sure. Almost like experimental rock as well, pop rock. Um, so Heavy definitely like nailed the overall vibe, and I definitely think this almost sounds like an original kind of version. I think Heavy did a really good job. So with that said, a huge shout out to Heavy Metaphors. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Heavy Metaphors on YouTube. They are 3 subs away from 120. We'll show them some love on the tube, man. And of course, make sure you follow Heavy Metaphors on Twitter. They're approaching 1.1K on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube pre-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the main Music Mondays channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. Make sure you go show the channel some love and show these artists some love. And if you already have been showing the channel some love, you've been subbed, you've been dropping likes, you've been viewing the videos, you've been commenting. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. So, let's see. So up next, we got the homies over at Young Visionaries Promotions. And we got the homie Caramel. Now listen to Oranges by Bad Caramel. Now let's see. So this will technically be a first time submitting artist. This is definitely not an artist we've had any experience with. So, let's see what we got here. Yeah, definitely the first time we've had any experience with Caramel at all, for sure. I'm definitely excited to get into it. We're gonna go in blind. Obviously, it's tagged hip hop and rap, but you know, you never know what we could run into. So let's get into it. Bad Caramel, Oranges.
Hey guys, so my name is Bad, and this song is called Oranges, and yeah, it's about oranges. So, more than force it, no, I do this shit with no endorsements. Baby, I could teach a course, your best shit on the porcelain. Ugly motherfucker, mask on, looking gorgeous. I was starving for attention, now a nigga gorging. Control how the cookie crumble, you could get a fortune. Sick of beef and give me something I can stick my fork in. Best in any local rapper, you can lick my foreskin. They had a chance to have a chorus, that shit in rigor mortis. They love to start some shit with me to be like, hold your horses. This is torture, it's unfortunate I have to torch him. He was really spouting off till I brought the cork in. Pack more weed up in the roar, we back to living lordless. Baddie had to keep it low-key like a fucking Norseman. Working till I got the juice, I've been grinding oranges. Everybody got a cup when it's time to pour shit. When all I wanted was some love, you couldn't find a portion. I was married to a lifestyle, I divorced it. From a long line of gangsters, but I'm fucking dorking. Why you bugging me? My cousins spray like fucking orchid. No, they wanna tie and beat me, someone bring the chords in. I'm a rapper, you a hooker, I don't need a chorus. Your producer turned his headphones off while you recording. Trying to get a second mortgage, studying for the poor kids. You still living with your parents, go and get your chores did. Being sober boring, wrote this one in Metamorphosis. If you finna do a drug, you better trust his sources. My body is a temple, I destroyed the organs. Love a girl to let me use her boobs like an accordion. My surroundings been abrasive, sorry for my coarseness. Any rapper try and take me, bringing reinforcements. Quick with a retort, the snippy sword, I live in orbit. Plan according, if you callin' hits, can you afford it? Your whole crew gon' be in court for crimes that you reported. Past is sorted, in the grand scheme, it's unimportant. Drugs and daughters, my priorities is out of order. I ain't addicted, I just snorted to increase endorphins. You niggas can't fucking rap!
Holy shit! Wait. No way. Holy fuck, man. So about 2 years ago, the first SoundCloud track on this account. Jesus. Alright, much to discuss here because this was just... My lord. Wow. Alright. First time submitting artist, so that definitely, like, blew away all expectations. Like, not even a question. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Oranges. So instrumental. Love the instrumental choice. I definitely feel like this is a artist that knows what kind of instrumentals they like and sound good on. So the choice is great. The mix is very solid. Like, very, very fucking solid. Nice and level. Nothing clashing at all. Melody is very prominent. Drums are very fucking solid. Yeah, no gripes with this at all. Definitely no gripes at all. As far as the mix goes. Very well rounded. Instrumental shining star. I feel like the melody is super memorable, but the drums kind of really fucking knock. And I feel like the instrumental structure is definitely something that you could easily sleep on, and you could be like, God damn, I kind of miss talking about that. So, um, structure is definitely slept on, but the melody is very memorable, like very very memorable. So melody is definitely a shining star here. Um, let's talk vocals. So vocal mix is great. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Very raw, but very like crisp and solid vocal approach. Not like over processed, but not like underwhelming at all. I think the vocals in a really good spot for sure. Mm, yeah, no, very solid, well-rounded vocal mix because everything cuts through nicely. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. No gripes. Definitely no gripes. So the vocal mix is solid. Vocal shining star. Flowing cadence is definitely up there, but this writing was crazy. The amount of fucking punchlines and bars here was like really nutty, really really fucking nutty. Um, just off the amount of punchlines alone, I was kind of like immersed in listening, like really really immersed in listening. So the writing definitely takes the cake here. Not even a question. Not even a question. But the instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Um, vocals are solid. Definitely the writing, but the flow and cadence is definitely a close second. Overall theme. So this is I forget the name of this movie, but the aesthetics here are definitely on point. Like something like this for a cover is insane. Just because it's super simple and it's like got a lot of symbolism to it. You know what I mean? But it's very original. And plus it's also what they wear as well in their profile picture. So a couple of like things to really kind of like it take in there from that. You know what I mean? Like really a couple things to kind of take in from there. So aesthetics definitely on point, and I feel like the aesthetics are very like symbolic, without a doubt. Um, so aesthetics on point. Let's talk overall theme. I mean oranges, right? Bad says right off the rip that the song's about oranges, but it's realistically not about oranges. It's a very much showcase of lyricism while also simultaneously kind of like dismantling a lot of like basic like assumptions and like really effortlessly kind of putting on a show with how well they can deliver. You know what I mean? So I feel like Origins was like a great metaphor for an even crazier kind of track. Like this was something that was like, damn. Like from start to finish, this was all chaos in a really good way. From the writing to the flows and cadence to the outro, like, well done. Well done. With that said, a huge shout out to Bad Caramel. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Bad on SoundCloud. They are 9 follows away from 60. And of course, make sure you follow Young Visionaries Promotions. They are approaching 1.2K on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subaroonies on the main channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff is available over there on the channel. And if you've already subbed, you drop likes, dropping comments, you're even viewing the videos, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting Music Mondays. So, continuing on, we left off with the homies at Young Visionaries Promotions, but up next, we got the homie Die Guy Music. Now, it's been a while since we heard from Die Guy. Probably some months, man. Maybe since like spring or so. Possibly the beginning of the year, but a very, very talented producer. They submitted a track titled Garden Vacation. So, like I said, it's been a while since we heard from Die Guy, so I'm definitely kind of curious to see what they are up to. Absolutely. So let's see what we got here. Art goes absolutely insane. This is some like distorted, slightly like trippy kind of art. Because like the more you look at it, like the more you kind of see here. It's actually kind of nutty. I like that art a lot. But let's get into it. Die Guy Garden Vacation. Damn. So slightly experimental, definitely alternative, but gives a like really good positive vibe. This is an interesting track. So we're gonna talk about three things here. This came out literally less than a week ago, so still brand new. But with that said, let's break this one down. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Garden Vacation. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix is solid, especially for what this instrumental is. You know, there's a lot going on. You know, there's a lot of melodies. Drums are definitely aggressive. Sound selection is excellent. So there's a lot of like attitude and prominence within this mix. And for what it is, really well rounded. Nothing clashing too overbearing at all. Nice and level. Vocals sit nice. Kind of brings out the best of each element of this instrumental. So no gripes with the mix at all. Instrumental Shining Star. So I love the drums, and I definitely feel like the mill is very rememberable. But I feel like the structure is a very like important part of this. Like the structure is very, very, very fucking important, and it's not even close. Just because like the structure brings so much personality to this track, especially like over the course of 3 minutes. Like it never stops progressing, and it always like leaves you waiting for the next drop. Yet it's not like super experimental and all over the place. Definitely the structure. Definitely the structure for sure. Big fan of the structure. Um, let's talk vocals. So when it comes to the vocal mix, it's a very interesting vocal mix. It's more on the process side of things, but I think it works well for this kind of instrumental because a lot of the sounds are also very like fast paced, alternative pop, electronic like. So I definitely feel like the vocal mix itself kind of blends well. Um, super level, pretty well rounded. Not too much clashing at all. I wouldn't say it's kind of like fighting with the instrumental. I'd say it's pretty well rounded for sure. So the vocals are solid. Vocal shining star. So one thing that I really loved about these vocals was how well everything flowed together, and the vocals were a big part of that because the instrumental had such a crazy structure, and I feel like Die Guy did a really good job kind of approaching the vocals in the same kind of way and really making the vocals kind of count with this instrumental and really making a nice flowing kind of everlasting track, right? The track's always building and it's wrapping back around, and it's kind of leaving you in anticipation. So definitely the flowing cadence and delivery. I definitely like the performance on this one of the vocals for sure. um so the instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely flowing cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. I love this cover. Simple but very effective. You know what I mean? Very, very effective. Kind of trippy to look at, but at the same time, like very pleasing to look at as well. Text is very simple. Garden Vacation on the front, Die Guy at the bottom. What more can you ask for, right? I think it's a really attractive single cover. Very safe and effective, if I'm being honest with you. So, overall theme. I definitely feel like the term garden vacation is a little bit of a of like a of like an insider kind of theme for Die Guy. I definitely feel like it's a little bit like a more meaningful theme to them than it is like a theme that's like, oh, okay, like, you know, you could like easily figure that out and that's what that song means, right? I mean, you would need to deconstruct this over the course of a next, you know, couple listens to really like fully grasp a theme like this. But I think Die Guy did a really good job kind of keeping the mystery of this track, but also kind of leaving a lot to the ear and letting, you know, the listener kind of decide for themselves. So with that said, a huge shout out to Die Guy. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Die Guy on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Die Guy on Twitter. They are literally approaching 170 followers on the Bird app. So make sure you go show Die Guy some love, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. Make sure you go show these artists in the main channel some love. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff is available on the channel. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that's already subbed, dropping likes, dropping comments. You've been subbed, you know, early on. You've been subbed late. We appreciate you, and thank you, thank you, thank you. So, a huge shout out to that guy. But up next, we got the homie Saint Wave, a very, very talented hip hop artist. It's been quite a minute. It's been quite a minute since we've heard from Saint Wave. And they actually said that in the caption. It's been a minute. So I had to get y'all this right here. Okay. So, Saint Wave, Midnight Mode, official music video. Now, like I said, Been a while since we've heard from the homie Saint Wave, so I'm definitely excited to see what they've been up to here. So, let's definitely crank up the quality a bit for sure. Let's see here. So, premiered August 16th. A sci-fi fantasy inspired track about anybody fighting their way through life via escapism. Shot and directed by Jex Studios. Called Saint Wave, Houston Clark. Okay. Yeah, lots of love in the comments, man. Lots of love in the comments. Yeah. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what we got here. Saint Wave Midnight Mode official music video. Sounds up. Let's go.
Neon lights and glowing roads. I've been lost for way too long. Whiskey showers and cocaine floors. Lost souls and we don't feel no more. Judge me, baby. Judge me, oh. Dancing till I can't feel no more. Faded under midnight moon. Show me, baby, the darker side of you. Stay lit, can't fuck with nobody that gon' fuck up my trip. Stay high as the ceiling, life a blur, magic whip. Before I step in, hotbox my whip, but way too loud to talk shit.
Processing.
I've been dancing and moving it slow. When the rain fall, damn it, it pour. If you question came up from the north, baby, I know you ain't used to the cold. I've been dwelling on thoughts of the lows. Deep down, they don't care for your soul. Through heartbreak, learn to love a heart cold. Leave you sick, baby, no common cold. I've been going in, tequila medicine. Drug texting ex-girls, I'm embarrassing. I've been living in dark memories. Try to accept good things come to an ending. I've been sitting here, counting Benjamins. Blow it all at the bar for who listening. It hurts more when you're inside unsettling. You ain't known till the music starts settling. Neon lights and glowing roads. I've been lost for way too long. Whiskey showers and cocaine floors. Lost souls and we don't feel no more. Judge me, baby. Judge me, oh. Dancing till I can't feel no more. Faded under midnight moon. Show me, baby, the darker side of you. I've been falling forever, been looking for a better future, but I'm stuck right here, chasing forever. If you ever wanna let me in, I'm here, I'm about it. If you ever feel that danger, know I'm coming after. Everything is going fine until I wake up. Every time I'm dreaming, I feel like I'm always lying, but the pain cut deep. Feel like I'm falling down. I'm never gonna make it until you drag my ass out. Neon lights and glowing roads. I've been lost for way too long. Whiskey showers and cocaine floors. Lost souls and we don't feel no more. Judge me, baby. Judge me, oh. Dancing till I can't feel no more. Faded under midnight moon. Show me, baby, the darker side of you.
That was crazy. That was really, really fucking crazy. Holy shit, man. Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, Saint Wave was not kidding. Like, they definitely hit us with the fucking banger right here, bro. Like, what the fuck? I like that video had me in a trance. Like that video was really fucking well done. Like really, really well done. Okay, so you guys know the drill. Let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're definitely gonna talk about vocals, but instead of the theme, we're gonna talk about the video here because this is one hell of a music video. So we're talking about those three things. Let's talk instrumental. So the instrumental is great. I noticed Saint Wave has a really like interesting knack for their instrumentals and picking them and kind of knowing like what kind of futuristic, interesting alternative hip hop sounds that they really enjoy. Because it's not like bare bones hip hop, but it's also not bare bones pop. It's a very specific kind of instrumental that they gravitate towards, and this is no different. So, well, as far as the instrumental mix goes, stellar. Like, absolutely stellar. Definitely nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit really, really nice. Everything cuts through nicely. Drums cut through nicely. Super level. Yeah, no gripes at all, man. Like, no gripes whatsoever as far as the instrumental goes. Mix is really well rounded. Not even a question. Instrumental Shining Star. I want to say the drums just because they're so like prominent and like really wide, but the melody definitely has a big case for this as well because it brings that like late night vibe definitely, but the drums are a big sleeper. So yeah, probably the drums just because the drums give it that extra like attitude that it needs definitely. So the instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. So vocals. When it comes down to vocals, the mix is great. Again, Saint Wave, they've always been known to have like a really steady, solid mix when it comes to their vocals. So really a no surprise there at all. Just because again, like I said, this is an artist that's had a really consistent mix every time we've reacted to anything from them on the show. So mix is solid, but when it comes to the vocal Shining Star, I really love the writing overall, and the delivery had a really good flow to it as well. But I think the thing that really sold me here was the hook. Like the hook was everything here. Um, the hook was memorable. The hook was made you want to like get up and move. It was bouncy. It was really everything you'd want it to be in a track like this. Like I really think Saint Wave nailed the hook when it comes to writing and kind of like really using it effectively. So easily the hook when it comes to the vocals. Easily. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Writing's a close second. So let's talk about the video. The video itself is really insane. Like really, really insane. I think somebody said it in the comments. They were talking about, so you're filming movies now or something like that. And yeah, this is definitely like one of those movie-esque kind of visuals for sure. Couple things I really like about this. I'm pretty sure we've seen a Saint Wave music video before. So wouldn't really be like a first time seeing Saint Wave because it's like it's more so like we're kind of coming around and really seeing Saint Wave in another light. So that's one thing about this is like we've experienced Saint Wave in a visual before, but this one in particular is like a level up. It's not even a question that this is a level up for sure. So a couple of really amazing things I like about this is the shots. A lot of like the off guard shots are excellent. A lot of the studio shots are excellent. But I think a lot of the street shots are some of my favorite. Like I think wherever this was shot was really like such an ideal location for a song titled Midnight Mode. they couldn't have picked any more like better late night locations, you know? You know, different strokes for different folks, but I definitely like the direction that they went in this particular track. Definitely. So a couple big things here. Again, I like the shots. I like the scenes that they picked. I like the simplicity of it as well. It's not like too much trying to like tell a story within a story. Like a lot of music videos will you know, tend to do that. They'll try to like tell a story within the story, and like you're like kind of like missing the point of the song. But this one here kind of like gets straight to the point, and you kind of understand where Saint Wave's coming from. It's very much like late night by yourself kind of vibe. And I think Saint Wave nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So a shining star for the video here. I think it might be the post-production. I was gonna say the scenes and like where this was shot, but the post-production was like really amazing to me. Like, because there wasn't like a crazy amount of post-production done, but like the way this video intros in and the way it first drops is crazy. The outro is crazy. And like really like the overall HD kind of like midnight aura that was given post-production is like the icing on the cake for me. It definitely is. It definitely is. Yeah, so well done. Well done. This is a pleasure to watch. This is definitely a pleasure to watch. So with that said, huge shout out to Saint Wave. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you subscribe to Saint Wave on YouTube. They are 8 subs away from 90. And of course, make sure you go follow Saint Wave on Twitter as well. They're approaching 960. So go show them some love on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. And of course, we upload 2 times a week, my friends. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. So make sure you go sub to the channel, show the channel some love, and show these artists some love. Saint Wave, you're very welcome, my friend. I hope you enjoyed. And thank you so much for your submission. Let's fucking get it, baby. So, again, a huge shout out to Saint Wave. That was a trip for sure. But, up next, we got the homie, Sonly. It's been a couple, probably a couple weeks to a month, maybe 2 months since we heard from Sonly. But a very, very talented hip hop artist, submitted a track titled R.I.P. Let's see what we got here. Wait, so this is this literally has just a blank cover. That's kind of like slightly eerie, but like I don't know. Let's get into it though. Sonly, R.I.P.
Watch your steps, all these fuck niggas tryna take your place. You a soldier, never let him disrespect on your name. Watch your steps, all these fuck niggas tryna take your place. You a soldier, never let him disrespect on your name. Gotta face my enemies. If you try to reach me, you get struck by the blitz. If you try to play me, you get shot. Rest in peace.
What an interesting track for sure, because like the cover art made me think it was gonna go in a different direction, but it was more of like the subliminal kind of diss direction. So I was just like, damn, okay. What an interesting just take, to be honest with you. But yeah, you guys know the drill, man. Let's break this one down. So, let's talk. Let's talk, my friends. We're gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of RIP. So, let's talk instrumental. Now, Sonny definitely took a very like plug alternative trap kind of direction with his instrumental choice. And I think Sonny does a really good job with that. I really think that they blend well with their kind of with their kind of direction when it comes to what they really enjoy as far as their instrumentals go. So let's talk mix. Mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing, and as a matter of fact, I kind of like the amount of mud that was left in. I think it was the perfect amount of mud to leave in when it comes to the drums and the overall instrumental. So definitely a really solid approach when it comes to drums. Yeah, no, really well rounded. No gripes whatsoever. Now that I'm really trying to like really think it back. Nothing I would switch up or anything like that. Instrumental's very solid. Definitely solid and well rounded. Let's talk instrumental Shining Star. So, instrumental Shining Star. Something about the melody really stuck with me, and I'm not sure why. Like, something about this melody, like, absolutely stuck with me. It has this mysterious kind of, like, late night vibe to it. Drums are definitely a close second, but the melody kind of got me. I don't know what the sound selection was for it or anything like that, but the melody just, wow, like, whatever sounds were used were just spot on. They really just complement each other, you know what I mean? So definitely the melody. Definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. So when it comes to vocals, the mix is solid. Again, Sonny's really one of those artists that kind of has always had like a really consistent mix no matter what style they do. Whether they do like a more raw approach or they do more of a processed approach or they're kind of, you know, on like a real sad piano kind of style or they're more going, you know, alternative plug, alternative trap, plug and B. So like I definitely feel like Sonny has had like a really consistent mix every time we've dove into their work. Definitely. So a vocal mix, very solid. Again, nothing clashing to overbearing. Everything cuts through nicely. Everything sits nicely as well. Vocal mix solid. So a vocal Shining Star. this one's kind of interesting. I think flow and cadence kind of took the cake for me, just because it gave me that very like freestyle punch in punch out kind of vibe, but it was still very like melodic and catchy and bouncy. So flow and cadence definitely took the cake for me. Definitely took the cake. Writing is a close second, but flow and cadence for sure. Flow and cadence, not even a question. Just because it was still bouncy yet melodic. I definitely like the flow here for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely flow and cadence. Let's talk theme here. So obviously aesthetics. Blank cover, just a black image. So I went in thinking that this is gonna be rest in peace, but realistically, it's rest in piss. So kind of a fitting cover, right? I mean, just the darkness. So kind of a ominous, kind of vibe there for sure. Kind of like a little like subliminal diss when it comes to the actual cover, So solid choice nonetheless. Overall theme, R.I.P. I mean, realistically, kind of like a subliminal diss track. Definitely bringing out the more like attitude-filled lyrics with a little bit of like fuck you in there, you know what I mean? So I feel like Sonny definitely hit the nail on the head when it comes to R.I.P. Really, really hit the nail on the head. Kind of a no-brainer theme, but I think Sonny did a good job showcasing their lyrics. Definitely. With that said, huge shout out to Sonny. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Sonny on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Sonny on Twitter. They are quite literally 2 follows away from 80, my friends. So make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 210 subscribers on the Music Mondays main channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. And of course, we upload every Thursday, every Saturday, my friends. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff available on the main channel. So make sure you go show these artists in the main channel some love. So, yeah. Let's continue on, my friends. And huge shout out to Sonny. Thank you so much for the submission. But up next, we got the homie Spendo. It's been quite some months since we heard from Spendo for sure. Spendo is a super talented West Coast hip hop artist, and they submitted a track titled Go. And it's from California Sun God. Okay. Spendo, I see you. It's on linked to all platforms. Let's see what we got from the homie Spendo, man. It's been a while. Let's see what we got. Pop open the SoundCloud. Let's see what's up, Spendo, man. August 22nd, 2023. Damn, it's been a while. Okay, this will be great. Let's see. I love the project cover. Definitely love the project cover for sure. Definitely went like above and beyond, 100%. All right, let's get into it. Spendo, go.
Welcome back, y'all.
Okay.
It's your boy DJ Ultimatum with the homie Spendo, bringing some of that West Coast funk for the future. And you know how we do. Hey, check this out. You ain't got to go home, but as they say, you can't stay here.
I've been a ball, took a loss, bounce back in, I'm all in, almost to the end zone. I really miss my calling, spin rich, we ballin', stack it to the ceiling. California sun guy, yeah, I'm really in the feeling, really love the feeling. The essence of the streets, late nights, early mornings with my passport heat, and everything discreet. I think we really said enough. All you suckers get the picture, baby, fill another cup. The roads been rough, daily terrain, still I move and I groove. Ultimatum on the way, stay locked in the game, cooking up some classics. The world's never heard my best music, I'm a master. Sensei plaster, locked in the lab. Money is the motive, all I'm wanting is vacation. It's a blast from the past, making moves like a chess game. If you don't understand it, you can stay about my way. Always on the grind.
No way! Holy shit! I needed that to keep going. I didn't realize that was a minute. Damn! That was lit! What the fuck? That was lit! I thought that was gonna keep going. Holy shit! Let's go, man. Well done. Well done. Not that was great. I was ready for that like alternative pop like house vibe spendo, man. That was great. Well done. Well done. Holy shit. So let's break this one down, chat. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Go. So, let's talk instrumental, because this is a very fast-paced instrumental for somebody like Spendo, but I definitely could see how they could flow on it very easily. I can't see this being a problem for Spendo at all, to be honest with you. So let's talk mix. Mix is great. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Very fast-paced, very bouncy. Very well-rounded, nice and level. Everything cuts through nicely. No gripes at all. No gripes at all. Definitely not. Just exactly how you'd want this to be be honest with you. A very solid instrumental mix. Definitely. Nice and loud. Yeah, no gripes. No gripes. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably the drums. I like how fast-paced the drums are, and this prod did a really good job. Kind of going above and beyond and really making like a dance bouncy kind of like house drum vibe, without a doubt. I just love how bouncy they are, and the drums clear for me. But I do feel like the melody was a sleeper as well. Melody's definitely a sleeper. But the drums, for sure the drums. So let's talk vocals here. So when it comes to the mix, Spendo has always had a very, very solid mix. Ever since, I've heard them first years ago, Spendo has easily had one of the most crisp West Coast style mixes I've ever heard, absolutely. So it comes as no shock that this track has a very solid, well-rounded mix. Not really a shocker. Vocal Shining Star might just be flow and cadence. I like their writing a lot, but the flow and cadence was amazing. Like I hadn't heard Spendo on this many like fast-paced, kind of bouncy, dance-like instrumentals, and this was like one of the first. And I think Spendo did a really good job with the flow and cadence and delivery. Just the overall performance of the track was really solid, really solid. So the instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely flow and cadence delivery. Let's talk theme. So when it comes to the theme, aesthetics, really fucking solid cover. Like especially for like a project cover. I like Spendo's vibe here a lot. Nice and sunny, positive, warm, by the water, California sun god. Like this is a very much like a very California cover, yes, but it brings you that kind of like theatrical album worthy cover like vibe for sure, not even a question. So this is definitely like it just hits the nail on the head when it comes to like a full project, not even a question. Huh. So overall theme, I feel like the title Go had a bit to do with the fast pace vibe of this, and also kind of a little bit of like just get up and go. You know what I mean? Just get up and do what you got to do as a person, as an artist, as a human being. A very simple but straight to the point kind of theme. And I like how Spendo kind of incorporated the fast paced instrumental with this kind of lyrical vibe. Like I definitely feel like this was like super on point when it comes to like really making the track super understandable, but also like making it like super like listenable and kind of like, bringing that. It's not really like an old school vibe. It's more of like a classic vibe mixed with like current sounds, right? It sounds way more modern than it does classic, but Spendo does such a good job putting a classic spin on it that it sounds like something entirely new. And I feel like that's like very special. Very, very fucking special. So well done. Well done. And I would love to hear more tracks like this. Absolutely. Absolutely. So huge shout out to Spendo. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Spendo on SoundCloud. They are literally only 8 followers away from 10. So go show them some love. That must be their new SoundCloud account, my friends. So, of course, make sure you follow Spendo on Twitter. They are quite literally 4 followers away from 830. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. So make sure you go show these artists in the main channel some love. And if you already have, thank you so much, because of course we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, and a whole lot of really, really good stuff is available on Music Mondays channel. So, huge shout out to Spendo. But up next, we got the homie Bloodcat. And Bloodcat's been having a pretty solid 2023, despite going through some ups and downs, you know what I mean? But a very multi-talented and multi-genre talented vocalist submitted a track titled Grilled Cheese Grinnin'. Grilled Cheese Grinnin'. Say that 10 times fast. So, I'm kind of curious. This is a very interesting track title. Let me see what we got here from homie Bloodcat, man. Engineered by Lil Snoozer, produced by Stone Beats. 1 day ago. Grilled Cheese Grinnin'. This is kind of funny. Like, I'm kind of curious what this is about to be about now. Okay. Let's get into it. Exclusive, unreleased Bloodcat premiering right now on Music Mondays. Grilled Cheese Grinnin'. What the fuck? Holy shit, Bloodcat is killing it even when they're fucking... Oh my god, that's crazy. That's crazy. Alright, well done. Let's break this one down. So, we're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Grilled Cheese Grinning. So, let's talk instrumental. Obviously this was pre-recorded before like a beat was chosen, right? So there had to be like a beat either created or like found that actually like fit around this. So it's just like, okay. This is kind of like really interesting. Because when you think about it that way, it's like, oh shit, like how the fuck did this like it just worked out really well. Like I feel like this instrumental was perfect. But as far as the mix goes, the mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Definitely a very solid mix when it comes to the instrumental. Again, no gripes at all. Definitely no gripes. Yeah, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums are solid, has enough mud in them. Yeah, no. I'm definitely very big um on the mix. Everything cuts through nicely. Vocals sit nice, especially for like how the vocals are recorded, right? Because obviously it's recorded through a fucking phone, so it's like you only have so much to work with, and it comes out really fucking solid. That's what I love about this. So the instrumental mix definitely solid. Um, hmm. Instrumental shining star, probably the drums. Probably the drums. I like the drum selection as far as the sounds go. I like the variety. I like the drum structure. Um, Melody's definitely a close second. Definitely a close second. So the instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. So when it comes to the vocal mix, obviously the way it's recorded is going to make it rough for any engineer to work with, right? But the fact that it sounds like this is really solid. Like they're actually coming up with like a really consistent theme of actually like getting the audio quality semi like mixed and mastered, right? So that's what's kind of funny about this. So for what this is, I like the mix a lot. Like it's definitely coming along like for what tools everybody has, right? Because you can only do so much with the phone call recording. So that's one of those things where it's like, sheesh, man. Um, yeah, no. Um, yeah. So vocal mix. I mean, not too many gripes, but you really can't have any gripes because they do really well for what they have. That's the thing about that is like they do really well for what they have. That's what I really like about it. Um, Vocal shining star, definitely the flow and cadence. I feel like Bloodcat flowed really nicely on this, and the cadence just come on, man. Like flow, cadence, and delivery, well done. Easily took the cake. Um, I could see how writing could be a close second, though. I could definitely see how writing could be a close second. Um, but yeah, flow and cadence for the vocals definitely. Instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely flow and cadence. Overall theme. Aesthetics. So we got the homies chilling on the grilled cheese. I mean, come on now, like, what more could you want for a song called Grilled Cheese Grinning, right? Like, come on. So definitely a solid cover. Hmm. So aesthetics on point. Obviously, overall theme is definitely more of a lyrical showcase than it is like a song about grilled cheese. There is a grilled cheese bar in here, but um this is definitely more of a lyrical showcase, and I think Bloodcat did a really good job performing this, especially how it's recorded as well. So, Bloodcat still are just writing their ass off, and this is proof of that. You know what I mean? A great lyrical showcase, without a doubt. So with that said, huge shout out to Bloodcat. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Bloodcat on SoundCloud. They are approaching 1.3K on the cloud. And of course, make sure you follow Bloodcat on Twitter. They're approaching quite literally 10 followers, only 5 away. So go show Bloodcat some love on the bird app, my friend. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 Subronies on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Underground tips and tricks, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff available there on the Music Mondays channel. So make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love. And if you already have, thank you, my friends, for showing the channel some love. Even if you've been subbed or you subbed, you know, just yesterday or anything like that, even if you're just watching the videos, we appreciate you. Thank you. So up next, we got the homies over at Misfit Click. And they said Dub Boy is back. Listen to Going to Hell by Misfit Dub Boy. Okay. So it's been a while since we heard from Dove, I think, and Misfit Click actually submitted yesterday. So this is a very interesting alternative collective for sure. And they submitted a track titled Going to Hell. Let's see what we got here, chat. I'm definitely excited to see what we got here. So, let's see. Oh, so it looks like this is like their first track back. Oh, okay. Okay. Damn, alright. Okay. Alright, chat, let's get into this, because this looks like an artist coming back from a hiatus, but a first-time submitting artist nonetheless. So, let's get into it. Dove Boy, Going to Hell.
Dark all night, think of suicide. Pour myself a fifth of yak, walk outside. Pitch black, I'm never coming back. Try to find me, bitch, you're lying. You are never gonna find me. Tying the knot, I'm calling the cops. Rope around the neck, it's too late. I'm going 6 feet deep, cause all emotions, yeah, motherfucker, I'm weak. Mom, I'm sorry, your son isn't who you think he is. I'm becoming nothing, I am useless, and nothing's gonna stop me. Sick of all the pain and the voice that's insane. How you didn't notice? I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. I'm going to.
Damn.
Nothing helps, can't even hang myself, I'm too scared to be found. Pills and wine, didn't die, still woke up and didn't know what to say. Friends were calling, eyes were balling, deep skin crawling. I'm sorry once again, cause I'll blow my brains out to make sure this is the end. Fuck. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. I'm going to.
It's a very iconic kind of track. Something about that was like slightly creepy, but also peaceful in a way. Something like that. It's a very like dark, ethereal, horror-like, yet blissful kind of track. There was a lot of ways that this track could make you feel. So let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Going to Hell. So, let's talk instrumental. This is a very interesting choice, but a very like solid cloud-like alternative trap kind of instrumental. Um, hmm. So let's talk mix. The mix is definitely solid when it comes to this. Nothing clashing too overbearing. I like the drum sound selection. Melodies were solid, well rounded. Everything's level. Yeah, no, like when I think back on it, this instrumental was definitely like super clear and like no gripes whatsoever. No gripes whatsoever at all. And I like the choice in general, so this probably did a really good job when it comes to the um instrumental solid. Instrumental shining star though. Mm, I like the drums a lot, but the melody was very memorable and it gave a lot of that like eerie, ethereal, horror like dark trap kind of feeling. So definitely the melody for me, definitely. Um so the instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals here. So the vocal mix is great. Super crisp, super clear, super clean. Vocal mix is very like very crucial here because it brings a lot of that like raspiness out of Dove Boy and very like it's very dark kind of mix. And just a very dark kind of track in general. So you want to have that like darker toned kind of approach to this. You really did. So the vocal mix definitely solid, nothing clashing too overbearing, very level. Drums cut through nicely, instrumental or sits nice on the instrumental. Um, vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. Probably the flow and cadence and delivery. I definitely think Doveboy did a really good job with their writing, but the flow and cadence and delivery made this very dark, dreary, ethereal, ghost-like. All about the delivery and it was very believable, and I feel like Doveboy was coming from the heart with this one for sure. Um, so yeah, definitely flow and cadence and delivery, absolutely. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the delivery and flow and cadence. Um, let's talk theme. So aesthetics. For a song as deep as this and like how of a serious like track this could be, like this is a really perfect cover. Simple to the point, but doesn't like lead on too much. It leaves a lot of mystery to the track, if you will. I definitely feel like it leaves a lot of mystery. Like it brings that kind of like the track is gonna make more of an impact than the actual cover will. So it's definitely like bringing those kind of vibes to me. Definitely. Um yeah. Yeah, not even a question. And perfect for a single as well. It just made an impact, and it's one of those covers where like if you see it, you're immediately gonna know the track. You know what I mean? You're immediately gonna know the track. Um, so cover solid. Overall theme. Uh, kind of Dove Boy getting a lot of their feelings out, right? A lot of their personal feelings, a lot of personal frustrations, a lot of just personal shit. To be honest with you, definitely one of those that's like, you know, like tracks like these aren't necessarily for the listener. It's also a great outlet for any artist, right? Just to be able to really properly vent a lot of frustrations in a like a healthy way. And this is definitely one of those tracks where like it not only feels good to write out, it feels good to perform and actually like release. You know what I mean? So this is a very like relatable track if you've been there, but also even if you're not, you're gonna like understand the darkness and the dreariness of this track. You know what I mean? You're absolutely gonna understand where Dope Boy's coming from. For sure. Not even a question. So with that said, huge shout out to Doveboy. Thank you so much for the submission, friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Doveboy on SoundCloud. They are literally 6 away from 70 on the cloud. And of course, make sure you follow Misfit Click. They are approaching 2.2K on the Bird app. Go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, every artist featured will be included, of course, in the YouTube re-upload. And we upload every Thursday and Saturday, my friends. We are approaching 210 Subaroonie's over there on YouTube. Go show these artists some love, and go show the channel some love, man. Like I said, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available there on the main channel. And if you're already subbed, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, huge shout out to Misfit Click, and up next would be the homie King Mark, but we already took care of Mark because Mark is a Music Mondays Patreon. If you'd like to see Mark's reaction and review, you can feel free to rewatch the show from the jump. But, up next is the homie Johnny Farias. Now, Johnny is a super talented hip-hop vocalist. Absolutely been killing it with their submissions lately, man. Absolutely been fucking killing it. But they submitted a track titled Dark Hold R, featured on Lunar Solitaire's new album, rapping with Mantis and the Wesley Rocco. Mantis first verse, Wes second verse, and me last. Okay. Shouts out for to Johnny for telling us to order. And okay. See how this goes, chat. Dark Hold R. Oh, damn, there was like hella tracks on this. What the fuck? 30 tracks, holy shit. So this is track number 17 out of a 30-track project. Wow. That's crazy. Alright, let's get into it. Johnny Farias, Dark Hold R.
It all depends on your skill. Triumph or die.
Nikki has a dark hold. They think that my heart's sold. Burning trees to charcoal. Visualizing smart goals. Hard enough to not fold. Stardust stuck to my throne. Left my vessel out of body. Projection is astral. Notes forming compositions. Orchestral maestro. Hey, read the sheet to see the reasoning behind the light bulb. Dr. Light-led Mega Man tutorials. Always speaking cordial. Fending off Wiley and proving who's most powerful. Rockman got gems wildin' out, I got plans. Robot masters on my path to greatness, getting body slam. Psyching for the skill, once I went in for the kill. Loaded E-tank for my energy to refill.
Always living large, my bros just killing squads. We spit the illest bars, they feel it from here to Mars. You know the word is ours, so please give your applause. We know forgiving scars and leave you bleeding a course. We ain't for shooting stars, not playing with proven odds. The villain still in charge, the realest here in this art. The vision of the charts, the hardest out of the yard. I'm moving through your marks, your chumps ain't got the heart. Hold the mic up with these posing like us indeed. I'm a devilish fiend with benevolent schemes. Always reigning supreme, I'm steady chasing my dreams. We a whole different breed, you see us out in the lead. Never bum with the bag, on the hustle for cash. Fuckers won't even last, we play their music and laugh. In pursuit of the chance, they get their favorite and plaques. We just soon to be champs, becoming maidens and rap. Bitch.
Got on stage, they looking at me like I caught a body. Premeditated, don't know why nobody stop me. Getting through the trials, I've been on a house streak, ain't no fires. You a forged in, y'all are copy copies. Babylonian times, the quote from Hammurabi. Surveillance state, we all celebs avoided paparazzi. Adaptation on the field, watch me calling out. He's got the big pick, looking smooth like it was shot on Dolly. You trying to see how I master sword? Need me to drop gems, make sure it's a bag of store. Link with me before it's a price you can't afford. If they owe the money, I'm picking out and again inform. Every bout ending with these like I'm at your horse. Ain't expecting none of the streams to go past the source. No sabbaticals taken, you know I have to toil. If the flame not extinguished, why I pass the torch? I was leaving people floored with my past songs since the team, but getting all my vulnerable tracks off. Expressions rewarded, my soul hit the jackpot. Feeling mad calm when the storm in the backdrop. Through the turmoil to stand tall. Backglide, can't be feeling cornered by bad thoughts. Flash by, see my life going in snapshots. Can't stop to wonder if the moment is passed on.
Underground, I'm out the loneliest tip. Was bench warming, every shot I didn't throw was a miss. In a year's time, I put up the points that you did. Feature Vine, pick the stats, lead them all in assists. Twists and turns, feeling Mobius strip. With my flaws and my strengths, still the goal is persist. No 40 slips and smoke signals, one with the wind. You know what it is, forward's the only mode that I'm in. I don't play the games I enjoyed as a kid. The norms, the awards, the roles, and the robes they pick. Don't waste time wondering if the Empress Code's legit. Not the first Johnny to tell you what is worn is a fit. Hand in glove with them boys you resent. Deal with it, our success an ongoing event.
Stop, please! Look, Thomas, you gave these robots the burden of thinking. Won't you take responsibility for their suffering?
That was nuts. That was 100% fucking nuts. Wow. So I feel like everybody did a really good fucking job on this, but everybody's flows were like very much back and forth, and it was a very much tag team kind of vibe going on here. Johnny absolutely fucking destroyed this. Not even a question. Wow. All right, so let's break this one down, man. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Dark Hold R. So, let's talk instrumental. So the instrumental's more on the slightly like lo-fi hip-hop vibe a little bit, but it brings a little bit of a classical vibe as well. So yeah, there's a couple different vibes this kind of track was giving me, but it was a good mix. It was a really, really good mix. But when it comes to the instrumental mix itself, very solid. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Melodies were great. Sound selection was great. Everything complemented each other definitely. Everything was definitely level. Let me see here. Yeah, no gripes now that I'm thinking back on it. I definitely wouldn't change anything. The instrumental is like very well rounded and very solid. Very, very solid. Not even a question. Instrumental shining star. Probably the melody. The melody is just super memorable compared to like the first thing you think of when you hear this instrumental. The drums were definitely a close second though. I like the sound selection on the drums. But the melody is very memorable. Very, very memorable. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals here. So, when it comes to the vocal mixes, everybody's vocal mix was like very fucking solid. Very solid. No gripes with anybody, to be honest with you. All three verses were really, really fucking solid. Yeah, no, like every mix was like back to back, very crisp. Everybody's vocals sat really nice on the instrumental. Everything cut through really, really nice on the instrumental. Yeah, no gripes at all whatsoever with the vocal mix, to be honest with you. Vocal shining star. Everybody's writing was really crazy, but everybody's flow and cadence was really crazy. Like, flow and cadence was absolutely nutty. And specifically Johnny, I feel like Johnny's flow and cadence was like kind of like like sealed the deal for me, like especially like being on the outro, absolutely sealed the deal, not even a question. Um yeah. Yeah, flow and cadence all day. Writing is definitely a close second though, especially when it comes to Johnny's verse. But everybody equally killed it. Definitely everybody killed it. But Johnny, I felt like was a good closer, and I felt like this is one of those that like gave that like cipher vibe, but it wasn't necessarily like a cipher. You know what I mean? Like it definitely brought that like cohesive like feeling that a track brings, but gave a little bit of like a cipher vibe as well. So yes, flow and cadence definitely, and then Writing's definitely a close second. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely flow and cadence. Writing's a close second. Let's talk theme. So this is a whole project. So for this cover to be a project cover is insane. We have so many characters on this art that you could spend a good 10 minutes looking at this and probably not find all of them. So easily project worthy, easily album worthy, and I definitely like the aesthetics a lot. So Darkhold R, I mean, realistically, that's one of those titles that's going to mean a lot to these artists as opposed to you know, just Johnny or just one of these artists. I feel like they're all going to have like they're all very different approaches when it comes to what this actually means for them. And this is definitely a very well-rounded lyrical showcase for everybody involved. Like, not even a question. Like, everybody's lyrics were insane. Everybody's writing was insane. Everybody's delivery and cadence was insane. This is one of those tracks, again, where it's not exactly a cypher, but it gave a lot of cypher vibes without, like, the freestyle aspect of it. It was very, like, consistent and really, really approachable, to be honest with you. It just gave that very much, like, super cypher, but, like, consistent and like constructed kind of vibe for sure. But everybody killed it, absolutely. So with that said, a huge shout out to Johnny Farias. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Lunar on Spotify, and of course make sure you follow Johnny Farias on Twitter. They are literally approaching 670 followers. They are 4 away, man. They are 4 away on the Bird app, so go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. So with that said, make sure you go sub to the channel and go show these artists some love. And like I said, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff is available on the Music Mondays channel. Go show these artists in the main channel some love, my friends. So, we have time for exactly one last submission, my friends, and we ended off with the homie Carlton Garcelone. Okay. And of course, Money Green Music already submitted tonight. We actually reacted to one of their tracks earlier, so huge shout out to MGM. But we got the homie Carlton, and it's their first time submitting to the Music Mondays podcast, so I'm definitely excited to see what they got here. And they submitted a track titled Distraction, and they said, I hope you enjoy. So let's see what we got here from the homie Carlton. First time submitting artist. Track came out in March 2023, so not brand new, but not exactly super old. Let's get into it. Carlton, Distraction.
Time to show me it's here. Oversighted. Oh, hey, what you do is spend my whole life still waiting for you. Dispatch your morning light. I'ma never really mention your poor inside. All the your love, it can't come. And this whole baby, my heart became stone. I held you on so tight, but it didn't seem to change you. It's all in spite. But when you call me late at night, it's a distraction from all the problems in my life. I wish that I could prevent. You know it. You take me on my mind. I can hear my intuition. I won't be right. But when you call me late at night, it's a distraction. All the problems in my life. I wish that I could prevent. You know it. You take me on my mind. taking our time to make sure you won't go. I always try to understand the reason why you can't just be with me. And I know you like when I'm mad at you, 'cause you're on my mind. It's so sad, the truth. I give you all my hopes and strides. I got into your fallacies on trying, and I pray that your lives will be told, and that you make up your mind for I'm gone. Oh, you know that I had you on suicide, but it didn't seem to change you. It's all inspired. But when you're coming in at night, it's a distraction from all the problems in my life. I wish that I could prevent it. You take me on my mind. I can hear my intuition. I won't be right. When you're coming in at night, it's a distraction from all the problems in my life. I wish that I could prevent. You take me on my mind. I can hear my intuition. I won't be right for life. Tonight, it's a good night. Your praises when I say what you like. Oh, you know it. You take me on my mind. I can hear my intuition. I won't be right. It's all in the night. I'm vibing when I see the sun. Oh, you know it. You take me on my mind. I can hear my intuition. I won't be right for life. A little bit of your breath. Oh, you know it. You take me on my mind. I can hear my intuition. I won't be right. I'm a little closer. A little bit of you know it. You take me on my mind. I can hear my intuition. I won't be right for love.
Now that is what we call a ballad. That was crazy. That was a crazy, crazy first time submission, man. Well done. Well done. Let's definitely break this one down. We're gonna talk about three things. We'll talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Distraction. So, let's talk instrumental. Instrumental is great. Definitely bringing that like R&B kind of like alt pop, classic hip hop kind of vibe for sure. But yeah, mix is solid. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing too out there as far as gripes go with the instrumental mix. Drums are solid. Sound selection very solid. Everything cuts through nicely. Vocals sit nicely for sure. The levels are good. Definitely a well-rounded mix, especially for a first-time submitting artist. Definitely. So the mix is solid. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably the melody. The drums are definitely a close second. I feel like the melody is a very like memorable aspect of this, but also brings that like love ballad kind of R&B vibe to this a lot. So definitely the melody for sure. So the instrumental solid. Definitely the melody for the Shining Star. But let's talk vocals. So when it comes to vocals here, again, the mix is really solid, super melodic. Vocals sit nicely on the instrumental, definitely. Drums cut through nicely. I feel like Carlson did a good job with the delivery, and recording. Yeah, no gripes with the vocal mix. Very enjoyable to listen to, and I definitely feel like the harmonies and the backing vocals and everything done here was like really solid, really, really solid. A vocal Shining Star. Probably either the hook or the flow and cadence. I like the hook. The hook's definitely something that you're gonna remember from this, but the flow and cadence is what's gonna keep this bouncing. But I'm gonna go ahead and say the hook. Probably the hook, to be honest with you. The hook is definitely one of those that's like, it's memorable and it's gonna keep you coming back, definitely. But the flow and cadence is definitely a close second. So the instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme here. Aesthetics, Distraction. So realistically, it's one of those like it has so much symbolism for this track because it almost looks like you'd be distracted by the sun or distracted by the sunset or the sky but obviously that's not what this song is about, right? So I feel like it's a nice metaphor for what this song is actually about, and of course it's aesthetically pleasing. I definitely like the text that was chosen as well. Brings like early 2000s vibes. So well done on the cover. Definitely love the cover a lot. Single worthy for sure. But overall theme, relatively obvious. A distraction, right? Distractions in life, in personal relationships, from people, and really expanding upon the idea of how people can sometimes be a little bit weighing you down when it comes to life, right? And I definitely think Carlton expands upon that a little bit in their own personal experience and gives the listener a chance to really like fully take that into their mind. And I would recommend listening to this a couple times to really fully grasp a theme like this. But yeah, well done. Well done. Huge shout out to Carlton, thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Carlton on SoundCloud. They have 0 followers. Go show them some love in the cloud, man. And of course, make sure you follow Carlton on Twitter. They are quite literally 6 follows away from 190. Go show them some love on the Bird app, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 210 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. So make sure you go show these artists, the main channel, and everybody else some love. And of course, like I said, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. And if you already have been showing us some love, thank you, my friends, for dropping likes, dropping comments, even watching our videos, man. Thank you. So, with that said, my friends, that concludes Music Mondays episode 136. We just hit our 4-hour show limit. Now, with that said, let's go say our goodbyes. Let's talk about what's coming up for the week. Let's give everybody a little bit of a refresher, and let's see where that leaves us, my friends. So, with that said, huge shout out to everybody that submitted and came through and showed love. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patreons: Jordan Andrew, Blank Thought, King Mark, Ryuki, and the homie TDG. Thank you guys so much for being Music Mondays Patrons. And again, huge shout out to everybody that submitted to the show tonight. Huge shout out to Braden, Mag 2 times, Blank Thought, Jordan Andrew, Offspring Mysterious, Money Green Music, Heavy Metaphors, Young Visionaries, Promotions, Die Guy, Saint Wave, Sonly, Spendo, Bloodcat, Misfit Click, King Mark, Johnny Farias, and Carlton. Thank you so much for your submissions tonight, my friends. You guys are amazing. Thank you. With that said, my friends, let's talk about what's coming over the next week or so. Let's talk about what's coming on the show and just so much more, man. So I went through a lot of it at the top of the show, but if you missed it, in case you missed it, monthly July and August editions will be coming at you relatively quick. Feature Friday and Workshop Wednesday will be live on the channel this month as well. So make sure you go sub to the YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers again, man. You guys are fucking amazing. If you're interested in submitting for next week's show, submissions open tomorrow. So make sure you follow us on all socials at All Music Mondays. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, submissions are already open. So go find the tweet and go drop your links. And again, make sure you follow us on socials, man. We have so much stuff for you guys. Me and the Music Monday staff team are working very hard to get you guys a bunch of brand new content. So stay tuned, sit tight, and thank you guys so much for your support, man. We do this for you, and just thank you. Thank you for always supporting. You guys know what time it is when it comes to Music Mondays. But with that said, huge shout out to everybody that came through tonight in the chat. Huge shout out to Tarek, Mika, Saint Wave, King Mark, Blank Thought, Bromo, and anybody else that lurked and chilled. Thank you. You guys are fucking amazing. So, with that said, again, submissions open tomorrow, and if you're interested in submitting for SoundCloud Sunday, submissions open Wednesday. But you guys know the drill. Just make sure you're following us on all our socials at All Music Mondays. And of course, expect this available on YouTube this Saturday. Expect the audio version this Thursday. Yeah. So, with that said, make sure you go stream all the Music Mondays audio episodes at anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. Make sure you follow Music Mondays at All Music Mondays. Make sure you follow the Music Mondays staff team, and make sure you follow me at Zom Slays. Everything is linked down below. Follow, subscribe below. Make sure you follow the channel. Music Mondays episode 137 will be live next week. It'll be our first September show, so get hyped. Let's fucking get it, baby. And of course, make sure you join the Music Mondays Discord. Lots going on in there as well. But it's been your boy, Zom Slays. We'll see you next week for episode 137 of the Music Mondays podcast. Stay tuned. Be safe. I love you guys. And I'll see you next week.